Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you here. Hopefully, everyone had themselves a good week. I know it's been a lot of rain and thunder and lightning storms for me. We don't get those many here, too many of those here. We do get, and they're mainly heat lightning, to be honest with you, but these past couple ones have come with some rain. But that's interesting. How about you, Tower? Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, today for me is my first of 2 days off, and I had a steak dinner tonight, so it's
Nice.
been a good day.
Why did you get a steak dinner? What did you do special?
I worked hard and saved the money to afford said steak dinner.
Oh, it's
Now, one of
simply
my friends,
just okay.
me and some friends went to hang out, so there were four of us, and we're like, let's go to the Roadhouse. Got some steaks. It's
Yeah,
good
that's
times.
that's nice. Yeah, I had a steak last night myself.
Very good.
Yeah, I don't actually get them that often. Every couple of months or something like that. But I was kind of surprised with it last night. My mother-in-law bought me one. So,
How was it?
yeah, well, it is a Japanese steak, so it's a bit oily. I prefer to kind of choose my own, to be honest with you. The flavor is great, but they're a bit too oily. I tend to go with a. I have a specific type of steak I like here in Japan. Depends on what I'm cooking. The Japanese wagyu, everyone gets all crazy about, and it has its place. It has its place where it's good, but it's not always good. It's not. And so it was okay. I usually
Fair enough.
prefer to do it myself. Huh, that's interesting. It's telling me I can't do that. I'm sorry, I was just looking at something else because I am signed in over here. Oh, well, whatever.
Did you get
Um,
Oh,
another
careful.
strike, Chester?
no, I did not.
Ooh, I
It's
sent
just
you my text,
my
Brandon.
YouTube is working and I did my welcome over there. But I've made a bit of a discovery with my Streamlabs, which I should have made before. I actually can run the chat straight in the Streamlabs instead of popping it out and moving it around. So I have that set up, but I can't chat in it because it's saying you need to sign in. But I am signed in, so it won't let me. So I got to figure that out later. It doesn't matter. I could do it on the other side. Uh, Nevertheless, how about you, lady? Did you have a steak? Tower and I had steak. Sounds like Tower had a
No,
better steak though.
I had chicken.
Chicken's good. I like chicken. What kind of chicken did you have?
Oh, just some fried chicken, some watermelon.
Fried chicken and watermelon. Now that was not. It's
Uh-huh.
it's not been 15 minutes, but it was not a joke. Okay. So yeah, I don't understand why people get upset about that. It is so weird. Everyone likes fried chicken and everyone likes
Oh, I had
watermelon.
potato salad with it too.
You
So
did you rinse it down with a delicious Bud Light or grape soda?
No, God, no.
no,
God, what are you
no.
talking about?
Bud
Sour
Light,
ass bitter
ew.
beer. God,
I had
I don't
unsweet
even
tea.
drink Bud Light. I drink whiskey or moonshine or hard liquor.
yeah, no, we understand you're like what just turned 21 and you're stupid. Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, UV
Yeah.
blue and brisk lemonade because
Oh
I'm
no,
cheap.
dude, I drank so much more alcohol before I turned 21.
Oh,
Um,
I know.
I mean, you must have as well. I'm assuming it's not changed. But yeah, no,
I can drink
when I
less now
turned
than I did
21
before.
after my birthday, I really didn't drink for the rest of my life much at all after that. It's kind of weird.
I enjoyed some today. I only drink occasionally if I'm eating at dinner with like friends or family. I'll have one, maybe two. And then if I'm at home after a long day of work, I might have a shot or two just to make it easier to go to sleep.
Okay. Interesting. How about you, Puffin? How was your weekend, man? Was there steak or chicken involved? No, you're a fish man. I know.
No, I think I had steak. I forget which day. That was
Nice.
I was sick yesterday, and it came on Sunday, so
Yeah,
it's
my
kind of a
daughter
blur
has
right now.
COVID.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, why? There's nothing to be sorry about. It's
Don't say that word.
it's
It's not been 15 minutes.
influenza.
Wait, what? Where did that come from?
I have no
You say
idea.
the vid. The
He said the V word.
vid.
He said the vid, yeah.
I
Mhm.
said
COVID?
the vid. What do you mean?
You said the C
No,
word.
because you said the word that you can't say within the first 15 minutes at least.
Oh no,
COVID?
that you can actually they've changed your opinion, I guess. On
Oh,
YouTube, you can say that. I can actually say things like the COVID virus seemingly came out of a place in called Wuhan, China. I can say that. I can say that the 2020 election had some suspicious and shenanigans going on. Obviously, I can say that now. There's a lot of things you could say now that,
As long as you don't point the thing at any one organization.
I don't point my thing at anything it's not intended to receive it.
Like your wife. Okay, we all got that. Boom, boom.
you're here.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Jesus Christ, lady. Thank you.
Let's see here. Mm.
Anyway, yeah, you're a bit soft puffing. Maybe move your
Turn
mic
yourself up a
closer. I
little
could
bit.
try to turn you up a little bit if you like.
A bit soft. I like that term.
Nah,
A bit
it'll be
soft.
all right. I'm
Oh,
just
there you
That's
go.
tired.
better.
Yeah, you're just
Okay.
tired. I
I do
get it.
have a dilemma I would like to get your opinion on, gentlemen, if
Mhm.
I may have the box for 2-3 minutes. Um,
Okay.
Discord keeps on bugging me about wanting me to change my name
Well,
because they
don't.
they do not like the fact that I have 2 symbols in my name. Oh, those are the C's. Look like C's, but they're not really C's. They're alt symbols, alt keys, I guess is what you call them.
Just keep ignoring it.
Just keep it.
Yeah.
Keep ignoring it. Okay. Phoenix until my last breath. Okay.
Yeah, just ignore it. I don't pay attention to these people. GOP. Did we have? I know. Let me think.
Hey,
GOP is a pork man. Yeah.
the only thing I ate today was I had breakfast and I had a meat lover's skillet. That was about it.
What is a meat
I had
lover
to have pork in
skillet?
it.
What is that?
Yeah, bacon.
It's a
ham.
skillet
Yes.
filled with meat. So there was ham. There was pork.
I don't understand what you mean by a skillet. I don't get that.
Oh, do you
Um,
know what a skillet pan is, Chester? Like a cast iron pan?
It's
Oh
it's
my
called a fry
god.
pan. Yeah, I know what a skillet is.
Yeah, well,
it's like a
that's a
smaller
skillet
version.
pan. Yeah, it's like that, and you make the meal inside of it, and then you just don't take it out of the pan. You eat it in the pan.
So you went to a lazy ass restaurant. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Gourmet.
but that doesn't tell me what's in the pan though.
Me.
Hash browns, an assortment of meats, so ham, bacon. This one had like chicken and a little bit of steak in it. So I actually did have a little bit of steak, but not like proper
Why
steak,
would you give your customer a hot pan full of hot oil? I don't what?
Well,
No,
I mean, there
no,
was
Probably
Chester.
oil
stir-fried.
in the pan.
You Midwesterners are weird.
We are weird.
Chester, I
Indeed.
get a country fried steak. It's have you ever had country fried steak, Chester?
I have, yes.
Okay, now the one I get has hash brown, cheese, eggs over medium on top, 3 of them, shredded bacon, and then a fried steak in the middle of that, and then they smother it in gravy.
How much do you
And
weigh?
Oh, no! You can't eat it all in one sitting. It's like maybe a third or a quarter you can eat in one sitting.
I do believe the country fried steak I've had was called a po' boy.
Huh? Did it have crust on it like fried chicken?
Yeah, and it had gravy. I think it's just where I was in the South, they were calling it po' boy.
Oh yeah,
But they're weird too. And their
well,
food is all over the place. They have some killer food, and then they have some food that's absolutely disgusting, like chicken and dumplings. I mean, go straight to hell. I mean, really.
Oh my god, they're so delicious.
No, that is
Every
putting
time I
bread
go to
in
Granny,
liquid. What the hell's
every time,
wrong with you?
every time I see my grandmother, there is chicken and dumplings. It's fresh, it's delicious, and Granny makes them with love, so it's that much
No,
better.
no, no. You don't put bread into liquid. Puffin, I know you're dying and all, but you got to agree with me.
Yeah, that's
Dying
right.
of cholesterol.
Yeah, he
Grits and
agrees.
honey. Yeah, grits and honey. That's good stuff.
It's not
Shit
good
on a
stuff. It's
shingle.
not good
Ever
stuff.
had that?
No, I don't
Ever had-
want shit on anything. Thank you very much.
No, no, no.
Let's see
Chester,
here.
Chester, it's a slice of white bread with sausage gravy. It's shit on a shingle.
What? Cheesesteaks, hoagies,
Yeah,
scrapple, tomato pie, soft pretzels.
that's
I never heard of
Philadelphia,
tomato pie.
Pennsylvania. Yeah,
Oh, that's
Green
Davy
tomato
for you.
sausage.
good foods. Those are good foods. I love me a cheesesteak any day, man. Especially when they're made in the proper way. I mean, a killer cheesesteak is, I mean, wow. Philadelphia, particularly has some pretty good food. But all those Germans, they brought their love into America over there.
I
Nevertheless,
just want to, yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to point out that we're 17 minutes in, and we're talking
Yeah.
about food.
We are.
Hey, we had to get the subject covered.
Relax. All right. Let me go ahead and get it going on with that prompting. Be like that. Let's see here. Let me see. What am I doing? I got this. I don't need that. I need this one.
If it's any consolation, I don't know what I'm doing either. So
Oh well, that's a given,
Fake it till you make it. Till you don't.
right? Anyway, all right. Let me go ahead and get this going on now. Where is it here? No, it's here. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, cool. I rearranged all my desktop and stuff like that. I'm still getting used to it. I like it better. I got it super clean now. But anyway, I went. I watched too many computer videos. GOP, really, I do. Yeah. Anyway, I try to
all
get
right.
fancy like them. But of course, welcome. We are playing Omni Fit Hero here, session 1. We did deal with it a little bit last time, giving just kind of a reason to exist with the history and stuff like that. We created our characters, and of course, a little bit of background. It's a world that was created in the 60s, really, because of this new diet drug or diet shake that came out, but it was actually built upon the DNA of demons, and it caused people to turn into things, various things, furries things, and then later we had the Omnis arrive, and of course here we are 60 some years later, and the world has gotten past big wars and adapted, and you have it's more of a celebrity thing, and of course they're fighting crime, because anybody that's got a little bit of power is trying to take advantage of it, and sometimes that involves illegality, right? Just to kind of give you an idea, in the mid 90s, the Omni Wars ended. So we are like 20, 25, 28 years after the fact. It took a long time for things to rebuild and get back to where they were. But it's kind of a thing it's starting to become less talked about. Let's just put it that way. Particularly with because we're in our modern world. It is the world we are all in. Grandpa Alzheimer is in the White House, and the tech is in general the same. There are some techs that are higher, but they're expensive. Only the wealthy or governments or big corporations can really afford those kind of things, but they do exist. And of course, some of our heroes have possessed them. But the general public, unless they got money, they tend to drive cars instead of flying cars. Flying cars do exist though, right? So that's our world, and we're going to go ahead and jump into it now. We had our session 0, and we got all our characters made, and let me just go ahead and try to introduce them. I do got a couple of them in here, kinda. This is I should just bring this up and make it full screen though. So there we go. I haven't done any of the math or any of the numbers or write up on it, but here's a look. This is what Puffin's characters look like. He's Rozoth, and he is the Pulse. I gotta go in here and get his information and lay it all out. And of course, we have the almighty Cloaca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
That's pretty terrible.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you. I worked really hard on that.
Yeah,
I
you're welcome.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll
Chester, if
get.
you put DMs, I sent you the stock image of what I would assume Mr. O'Leary looks like.
Okay. Let me go check that out.
See, just to let you know, GOP, if
Yeah.
we are ever fighting and you're flying in the air and there's a plane coming, I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
That's fair
Oh
enough.
no, he got sucked into the engine. Oh, how unfortunate.
Aw.
Bummer.
Here's what Tower's character looks like. I guess it is kind of interesting. Tower always picks very boring looking things.
What?
It is
I'm an
very,
old
very boring. Yeah.
Mr. O'Leary.
Yeah.
He's a
Well, the
superhero.
werewolf with the top hat, that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I
No, that
made
was
that
pretty good.
image.
That was pretty good. The werewolf with the top hat was pretty good. But anyway, we'll work on those things later, little by little. Now, of
What
course,
real dice do I need to have on me right now, Chester?
you need to be on Bugbear Basement's dice and using 10-siders only, which you can adjust and set up all on your little lonesome. Let's see.
And of course, there's no picture of my character. Hadn't get it done. Hadn't found something I liked yet.
GOP, the one that's a 10-sider
What was
looks
that,
like
lady?
a pyramid.
No,
And there's
it's
no
not.
picture of me yet.
Let me see here. Let me try to move forward. Okay.
Go ahead.
So let's see here. Now, so we got a couple of characters. Hopefully, I'll have by next week. Now, I explained the system. This table right here is the entire game. This allows us to do everything with the various statistics we've gained. All the numbers we've calculated give us a name, and that name goes from anywhere from a shift 0 up to unearthly. Over that is for cosmic stuff, and we won't be using the majority of the right hand of this chart. But it's a cross-reference thing. You take your, like say you have a
What the
remarkable
hell?
ability, and
GOP.
you roll the dice, and that comes down, and you get to see what color result you have. It's a very fun system. You guys see me kind of do little one-offs with it. We're going to dive into it a little deeper here. So anyway. Now, went through all the stuff. We also got all our little charts all ready for us, which is pretty nice. But let's go ahead and get into the story. You guys ready? All right.
Sure.
Let's do
Also-
it.
Now, you
Yee.
guys, with Omnicore. Omnicore is one of the various things that came out of the peace talks at the end of the Omni Wars, which ended in '95, we'll say. And the one of the big problems with it, some countries dealt with the arrivals of myths initially, and then later with the omnis, to be, very poorly. And I'm sure you know which countries did that. A lot of other countries were mad because there seemed to be a confluence of these superpowered beings in richer countries, which makes perfect sense because it came out of a tainted dietary supplement, right? So of course it's going to be wealthier countries of housewives that are getting those kind of things, right? And a lot of that kind of kicked off with the war and the people's hate of the unknown, and of course, the fact that it was revealed that this whole serum the formula was built off using demon DNA. Now that is still speculated. Some people think that it's something else, and as far as the general public is concerned, other than Omnis, the Magi who came out of hiding during the process, of course, amazing tech, which is going around. Things like aliens, demons, angels, stuff like that are still very speculated by the general public. They're not known, although the American government recently has been saying aliens are real and we have their bodies. No one cared. It's interesting. Yeah. But the Omnicore International kind of came out of that. It's a private company that's under the auspices of the United Nations. And its main goal is to help police superpowered things which police can't deal with, but also to make sure that countries involved in the program get kind of equal access. Now, I'm assuming everyone here is an American. Well, Puffin's not.
But
Your
I
character is
am.
not from America.
no,
Um,
he's not.
he's
But he
not.
does have an American-looking human form,
Well,
kind
that's
of.
good. GOP, you from America, or yeah, I think you're British. You've got to be with a name like that.
He's
Only.
from Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
He
Tower,
sounds
you're
just like someone from Nebraska.
all right.
Mr. O'Leary, Western Virginia up in the Appalachian Mountains.
Okay, so you're Edwin.
Hey, I thought you were Detroit.
Oh yeah, fuck. Never mind. I'm from Detroit.
He's from Detroit. Lady, whereabouts is your character from?
The dark.
No, seriously,
She's
where was your
chameleon.
character born, please?
We're,
Born in the
New Zealand.
dark.
yeah,
No,
born in
were you
America.
born in Kentucky? Were you born in Maine? I mean, were you born in Spain, Barcelona? Where's your character from?
I was born in Maine. That's fine.
Okay, fine, Maine. All right, so we have a predominantly American crew here, other than Puffin's character. But you guys are all part of the program for various reasons. You're not required to be part of the program, of course, although every Omni is registered. Well, at least the ones that are post-war. Tower, what's your character's age?
35.
Okay, so you're older. GOP.
I'll go with 27.
Okay, lady.
She's older.
Well, give me a ballpark, please.
75.
Okay,
But
so
she looks 20.
that's impossible
Why?
because she can't be more
Okay.
than
Yeah. Can't be more than
50, 56, 57, something like that, 56.
make
She
her
could be a
25 then.
first generation, but it doesn't explain why she's just
Yeah.
starting though.
You want a second or third generation
I would prefer
person.
it. Yeah, so a little bit
Okay,
younger,
so
please.
20,
Yeah.
20,
Yeah, that's better.
21.
Thank you. 20 something.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, so
Is
and
35
you guys,
okay?
Tower, what was that?
Is my character too old then, or should 35 be okay?
A 35 is fine.
No, that's fine.
It'll work. Yeah. So 95, so that's 25, 26, 27, 28, 28 years after the war. So your character was born during the war. Okay. And that's nothing wrong with that. But you're part of Omnicorps, so you are registered. Obviously, everyone here is registered, even the alien. Now, the government did offer the government, the private organization that works under the United Nations. Let's be specific. Has offered you the option of keeping your alien identity secret. It's up to you. What
Sure.
would you prefer?
I'll keep it secret.
Okay. Of course, they know about you because you've decided to work with them. Anyway, since the war, though, all Omnis are registered. Now, there's a lot of argument and complaint about that. That it still has pushback even all this time later because the Magi don't have to register. People that have changed themselves with science, tech heroes, don't have to register themselves. Only the Omnis do. But it was part of the negotiations. The Treaty of let's see, it's usually in some stupid French place. Let's say Paris. Um, that came to this agreement. Yeah, I know, a little bit of American angst there. Yeah, it's okay. But nevertheless, you guys have been attached to the Pawtucket chapter of Omnicore. Okay. So you guys are in Pawtucket. Pawtucket is in Rhode Island, just for you guys to know. It's kind of an outside. It's a city outside of Providence. It's kind of Providence's minor leagues. Um, Now I know a lot of people don't know much about Rhode Island at all, but Pawtucket is well, when I was a kid, it was a cesspool. I'm sure now it's way worse. And especially with this current situation, because you know, if you take what we have going on in the world today and you throw in the chaos of superpowered people, dystopia comes to mind. Yeah. So there is a bit of that going on from place to place. But even without superpowered people, we have dystopia. Just go to Philadelphia or Detroit
Mhm.
or
The pit.
Chicago or anywhere in the West Coast. Yeah. Anyway, now you guys are. This is your first day. Is your orientation day. You've all coming from wherever you were before, training or whatever you were doing, and you get thrown in here, and you're at your orientation meeting, and the chapter chief here at the Pawtucket chapter of Omnicore is her superhero. Her AKA is Yo-Yo Mama. You don't really know what her real name is, but here is Yo-Yo Mama, and she's giving you your orientation.
Damn.
Yeah, and so Yo-Yo Mama is sitting in the Situation Room, and she's saying that she's saying to you, "Well, welcome. Have yourself a seat. Now we're gonna be getting into everything you need to know here. Yes, I know I'm not from here. You can tell. I am from Georgia, a proper place, not like this cold weather hellscape. Nevertheless, I'm in charge, and you will be listening to me. Now, you are not actually our front line, just so you know. But the front line is going to be being needing replacement. The retirement is coming up for them folks, and she brings up on the big screen behind her. You guys are probably already privy to this. I would assume you've decided to do something.
Paw
You've
Patrol.
never. You've done a little bit of research, I would assume, and the people who are the main crew that keep peace in Pawtucket are the Paw Patrol. Okay.
Oh,
And
Oh
of
no.
course, you guys are technically classified as sentinels. You're not office workers, you're field workers. What was that tower you're going? "Brr, brr, 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 brr." It's a lot of that tower, a lot of that.
they're heroes, right?
They are superheroes, yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
that would technically be the sound that he makes talking through his suit without the the audio.
That's true. That's true.
I got a quick question for you, Chester. Is Saber sponsored by Monster Energy?
He is. He is.
Okay. I was just
That
making
man
sure.
knows how to.
And
What is it? Make
it
money
was
on the side.
controversial. It was controversial.
Okay.
It was. You remember it came up in the news like a good 5 years ago. It was he and a few others were part of a group pushing for self freedom and the ability to sell themselves to large corporations, and they won. Yeah, yeah.
And also, one more point to make. It was very fitting that we were talking about watermelons earlier, considering Flair's costume.
Yep, baby, don't you mess with Flair. Everyone loves Flair.
No.
But yeah, Flair is something special. But you got Flair's Cars Off, and Saber. These are the current actual frontline team. But all of these are being promoted. These guys are moving on to various places. They're not moving together, but they're not world famous. They're not even country famous. There in New England, there might be some names. Saber particularly has a pretty serious fandom, but he's a little bit of an online specialist, where the others are not. Flair is beloved. Don't you dare say anything negative about her, or Yo-Yo. I don't know. Something bad will happen to you.
Your mama.
Yo mama. But anyway, you guys are here to train to replace these guys. Now you haven't met him yet, but you're in their playing field now, and you guys are going to go through training and become the new Paw Patrol. Okay.
Please, please, can we do like Delta Squadron or?
No, Paw Patrol, Pawtucket Patrol, Paw Patrol. It's perfect. Yeah, dude, get ready for the puns. They are rolling. All right.
That's terrible.
Okay. So she, has the main screen in the back. She was showing them to you, and she says, "All right, now, come on. We're going to take ourselves a walk here to take a look at this beautiful facility that Omnicore has afforded us. Come with me." And she waddles down the way. Now you know that she has a very minor telekinetic ability if you've done your research. But she's able to use that minor telekinetic ability in a very effective way with yo-yos, titanium yo-yos. Where she keeps them in that suit, don't ask questions.
We all know.
Okay. But she takes you on a little bit of a tour. First place you guys stop inside of here's the headquarters again. You guys are in this facility. And now we'll get into after what your characters specifically are doing in Pawtucket, but let's go through with a tour. First place you stop is R&D, and you're not really sure how much goes on at R&D here. This place is going to be one of the least funded parts of Omnicore International. This Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Randy.
Goodness, Randy just ate all their funds. Good lord.
I was gonna say, Randy. Like it used to be R&D, now just R because Randy ate the D.
He did. But Randy is a proper Rhode Islander. He's eating himself a grinder there. And I love the picture. But his name is Randy Otto. But he tells you everyone just calls him Randy. And this is his workspace. He's he's in charge of R&D. If you have any questions, come to him. And of course, you're free to use this space as you like, as long as it is legal, right? But this is a space afforded you. So therefore, if you guys need a laboratory, depending on what kind of character you've built, this is a remarkable resource lab, which isn't bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not no Tony Stark lab, but it'll get it done. And I made it remarkable because a lot of the minimum requirements for character labs are remarkable. So this is here, and Randy's here, and Randy's he's a nice guy.
Even though he ate Q007 and observed, consumed his powers as well. Yeah.
He did. But anyway, so Randy's he seems like a really nice fella, and this is a space that may or not be interesting to your character at all, depending. But he is our Q. Although everyone just calls him Randy. Okay. You move on to the next spot, and she says, "All right, come along now. You probably don't need that place very much anyway. I don't know that I don't know. I recall him ever making anything." And she goes down the hallway, and she brings you over to the comms and data. Now she says, now this area right here, you will be interacting with. This is our comms and our data storage area for all our case files and information and reports that you will be writing up. But here we have Kitty Perez. She's in charge. Now, you be nice to Kitty. We don't get a lot of myths out and about in the world, and we got one here in Kitty. Now, you guys can see, because you all grew up in this world, Kitty is a half. She's not a full-blooded myth, but she clearly has some kind of feline in her blood. You don't know what generation she, of course, you just met her. But Kitty is very quiet and mousy, but she welcomes you and says she will do whatever she can to help. Do you guys have any comments or statements for Kitty? I know you hated on Randy. Poor Randy. What did Randy ever do?
Well, he ate
I know, right?
all of our profits.
He ate everything.
Yeah. I was
Maybe
going
he
to say
can
she
watch the
said
grinder for us.
she never saw him make anything. I'm sure she's seen him make multiple sandwiches.
As soon
All right,
as
that's enough hating on Randy. I'm sure Randy's nice. I'm
sure
going to
as
stop.
soon as Rotha sees this girl, in his mind he's going to start thinking. Results of cat scratch fever confirmed. Mutations in sight after X many days. Taking
She's a
alien
mouse,
life.
not a cat.
No, she's a
Oh.
cat. She's just mousy, as he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
making a pun.
I had
Yeah,
Mhm.
but like he heard the
You're not
song and
getting
thought
no
it was an
points on that.
actual medical documentary.
Cat
So
scratch fever.
yeah. So this is a subject of cat scratch fever.
piece of paper in my pocket. Can I roll to see if I can dunk it into that trash can on the left side?
You don't have to roll to do that. What is your
Yeah,
grace?
do it.
I don't want it. Well, my grace, my grace is excellent.
Yeah, you can do that pretty easily.
As
Okay,
he,
I just
Mhm.
pull this piece of paper out of my back pocket and I just swoosh it from across from that trash can. And when it
As
lands,
it-
it's like, oh yeah, that's
As
the
it-
old Leary.
as it goes to hit the trash can, I'm going to use telekinesis to make it hit off the rim and land on the floor.
Now that would require a contested.
Just kidding. I'm not going to do that to you.
Hey,
That's
Chester,
funny.
can I take a laser pointer out of my pocket and like shine it on the wall in front of Kitty just to see what she does?
Well, her you see that her just one eye scans it. The other one is focused on your cloaca.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
My character hasn't said anything at this point. He's just going along with things. But yeah, we'll probably do proper introductions later.
But anyway, this is Kitty.
What's the
Uh,
level of this communication data office?
It would be probably like any government facility, a good 20 years out of date. Yeah.
All right. I walk up to Kitty and I stick my hand out and say, "Hi there, Miss Kitty. I'm Mr. O'Leary. Nice to meet you."
She shakes your hand. She's way stronger than she looks. But she's super, super polite. Now, I don't know your character's interaction. You may have met a myth in your life. You might not have. They were literally put on reservations to protect them. But they're occasionally seen in public. Their appearances are far rarer than their existence. So whatever your interaction with Miss might have been, um, she is much stronger than she looks, but she smiles and she says, "Very nice to meet you," and she hopes that she can do a good job. But any of you who have met Miss, you know that for some reason for the most part, they tend to be extremely polite and proper.
I just look at GOP as like, whoo, she's got a strong grip on her. That's a fighter. We need her on the front lines.
She's not
Indeed.
she's not a Sentinel classification. Anyway, yo mama says, "All right, come on now, continue. I know she's cute, but you're going to be talking to her on the mics, and she's good at what she does. So let's move on here."
Was she a question?
Yeah.
Was she a victim of the cat scratch fever?
Oh wow. I think the joke is overplayed at that point.
It is overplayed, but it's okay. So you go. Yo Mama ignores your comment and goes down the hallway. Says, "All right, come on down here. We do have a lunchroom for you. You can use, and there is what does he call himself these days? A nutritionist. He's a nutritionist, I guess, but he has other uses. This is Danny Powell. Danny looks at you like you're an alien." Even the alien. And what guise are you in right now, Puffin?
I sent you a DM of what his human
So
form
you're
looks
in a
like.
human guise. Okay.
Yeah, human
Um,
guys.
Now this is your lunchroom. You're not required to eat here, but there are vending machines for any kind of food. As a matter of fact, you see vending machines offering selections that only exist in Japan.
hmm
So,
Wow.
that's pretty
I'm
impressive. Danny doesn't say anything.
As a side note, I'm going to make sure that the dimensions on the door are too narrow for our R&D man to come in and eat everything? Just checking.
Oh no, they. As a matter of
So-
fact, as you're checking, it seems to have been widened.
Oh
I
no!
I look at the team and say, "Hey there, fellas. Any of y'all hungry? I'm buying."
Well, it's free,
Hmm.
so
Well, in that case, I don't get me a delicious burrito.
they
Did they
do
sell
have
squid?
convenience store quality level burritos here. Yeah.
And since it's Japanese inspired, it's going to be. They also have burrito flavored Kit Kats.
They do. Yeah, they do have
Oh,
that as well.
Do
Now,
they have calamari?
you guys might get yourself a bite. You can. It's all free here. This is part of the being part of Omnicore. You're not necessarily impressed, or maybe you are. If you're a convenience kid, then you're probably in heaven. But yeah, this whole interaction in this room goes by, and Danny doesn't say anything. Matter of fact, you're kind of curious: is he real? Because he doesn't even blink.
I look at him and I stick my hand out for a handshake and say, "Hi there, Danny. I'm Mr. O'Leary."
He moves back.
I stick my hand down and I'm like, "I see how you Chicagoans are."
Well, you
Walk
don't know
away.
he hadn't spoken. But
Yeah, you have no idea.
you have
where
no
he's
idea
from.
where he's from. But nevertheless, Yo-Yo Mama takes you down and she says, "All right, well, come on, keep going down here. Now, we do have ourselves an on-duty bunk if you guys want to use any of them. It's up to you. I don't know what kind of accommodations you've made for yourself here in Pawtucket. But nevertheless, this is available for anyone who wants it, whilst on duty, of course. When you're in your free time. This is for those who are here. Don't you worry about the Paw Patrol. They have their own individual apartments here. But this here's for you if you should need it. And it's literally a bunkhouse like you'd see in a fire department. And then she takes you to the last place. And this is actually in the basement. You guys go down the elevator, and you're a little bit concerned because when you get in, it's a freight elevator. But when you get into the elevator, you got Randy is in the elevator, seemingly going down as well. And you got Randy in there, you got Yo-Yo Mama in there, and you got your guys in there, and it handles the weight though. It handles the weight. And you guys head down to the training room, another facility available for you guys all to use as you like. And down here, you meet Mandy Pepper. Now, Mandy is stacked. She is incredibly muscled and fit female, maybe one of the most impressive you've ever seen. And of course, she's cute as hell, which is very important.
I'm gonna
It is
lean over to GOP. I didn't know the
Mhm.
Wendy's girl was real.
Yes, she is real. I
I'm learning
I
so
dude,
many things today.
I was so close to calling her Wendy. I was so
I look
close.
Yeah.
at him, I give him my high five.
But
Well.
I just, it was too much. It was too much.
Mhm.
So Mandy Pepper, and she's very bubbly and sweet and a happy person, and you can see why Randy's down here. He probably comes down here a lot, right? Although he does no training, clearly. But this room
He's
is
just looking
available.
for those jumping jacks.
Uh-huh. And probably help them out. This room
Hmm.
is available for you guys to train if you want to. Mandy is also an actual physical therapist, licensed and everything. So she can be of assistance with training if needed. But other than that, like I said, they're all very, except for Danny. Everyone was very nice and polite and friendly, and as you would expect on a orientation tour. Danny is weird, but that's okay. You need one of them too. We don't really know what the deal with Danny is. But you end up back here in your situation room with Yo-Yo Mama, and she says, "All right, now you've seen the whole place. We have everything you need for your accommodations, and of course, you guys will all have your schedules for being on duty. But does anyone have any questions for your mama?"
Uh, what's the layout of the surrounding area? Any points of interest around us? Say diners, libraries, stuff like that.
Well, there's all kinds of things around you. She's informs you. There's all kind of restaurants. The food in Rhode Island is fine. It's not. Some of the best food you're going to find is going to be Italian related as usual when it comes to New England. The pizza in New England is probably, outside of New York, is probably the best on earth. So any kind of pizza place with due to the competition is going to be pretty good. But Italian restaurants good. The Chinese restaurants are really solid. Other than that, it's a crapshoot.
I figured there'd be some sort of a burrito place.
Yeah, like
Oh
a
well,
diner. They got back where I'm from in Detroit.
don't get ahead of yourselves.
Now, what kind of accommodation do
Hi,
does
Cereal.
Omnicorp provide? What kind of accommodations does Omnicorp provide us with? Transportation?
Well, now, transportation as far as you guys getting around. As far as transportation goes, whilst on duty, you guys have three options that are in the hangar, which I haven't created yet. I need to create a hangar. I forgot about it. But there are three options for you. Now, keep in mind, you guys you're you're in training and your stomping grounds are Pawtucket itself, which is a city. So I mean, it's sizable. But there are three options. You have the paddy wagon, which is what she calls it, but it is basically a bread box, but it is a flying vehicle, and it is authorized. And it will have a pilot. I just forgot to create the hangar. I will, and the hangar dude will be the pilot. So it's basically this ugly box that you can fly around when going to serious situations where a lot of people need to be arrested, right?
I
You have
wish we
that.
had a fantastic car.
It's kind of like that, but a cheap ass version of it. Um,
It's
yeah. The governments do have flying vehicles, and like I said, they are available. They're just really expensive. So the average person doesn't have one. They're quite rare in that regard. You also have a street level vehicle, and this is a van that has a full communication systems, surveillance systems, and all that. It's built into the back of it. You've seen any movie with a surveillance van. It's that. Um,
It's a white Ford Transit, isn't it? Please tell me it's a white Ford Transit.
it
no,
is.
no, no, no.
No, yeah,
It's
no.
better. It's the mystery machine, but it's like over, the word on the side. It's just like painted over PCOI.
Yes, PCOI. Yeah. Because it is we are dealing low budget where you guys are. But you
Oh
have that. You
gosh.
also have four motorcycles, basically.
Ooh! What kind of motorcycles are they, Chester?
They are
Cheap ones.
something that was nondescript, bought from China.
Um, could have just had like some Honda Scramblers or something that are just
Well,
general purpose.
no, they're the when you're looking at it because she takes you to the hangar too. Like I said, I just forgot. But
Yeah.
on the side of it, it says Hua Busa.
Waboo. Bird of prey.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well,
Wow.
Hayabusa would be
Oh,
the correct pronoun.
wow.
This is a Hua, a Chinese, a knockoff. But yeah, don't expect luxuries here. But nevertheless, your question prompts a question from her. What combinations have you guys made for your characters here? Let's start with Lady. Now, Lady, you guys have known about your transfer here for about a month, so you've had plenty of time to prepare and set yourself up. Now, like I said, you guys could be coming straight green from training, which, seeing as Lady's character is so young, she might be doing that. Or you might be coming from something else. It's up to you, right? But Lady, you've had about a month to set up. what kind of living arrangements have you decided to make for your character whilst here in Pawtucket, Rhode Island?
Well, let's see. She'd want someplace that she can. We don't go to the office to change into our uniforms, right? So,
Well, you can. There is locker room, toilets, of course.
yeah,
They have those things. I actually had pictures for them, but I just didn't see a point of putting so much
yeah,
clutter in the timeline. They have
yeah.
locker rooms and stuff, of course. Yeah.
Um, I got a apartment that has a balcony, single apartment, not much furniture.
Okay. And what did you do? Now you guys are your money. Everyone is sitting on excellent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you
Unless somebody
guys
rolls
got
higher on that.
you got plenty of money. I mean, you could get yourself a Mercedes. I mean, it's not the like it's nothing to you. I mean, it's a serious monthly cost if you go that route. But you could afford that level of vehicle if
I'm
you
not a
yeah.
showboat.
Okay.
I'm not a
I
showboat.
think we
I
should
take the
probably
city bus.
honestly.
I take the city bus if there's a city bus.
All right, that's fine. And keep in mind, this is a five-story building you're in, and it has at least one sub-basement that you've seen. So there are locker rooms and there are, uh, um, you know, toilets and all that kind of stuff is in the building as you would expect.
Is
GOP,
there other
yeah,
apartments here in this building?
no,
I mean,
no,
or
no,
is it
no.
all just
That's you're not allowed to
it's
do
all
that.
belongs to the
Yeah.
court?
When you're on
Okay.
duty, there is sleeping areas and stuff like that. I showed you. You're allowed to
Yeah.
use, but you can't live on site. No. GOP.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have an apartment with rooftop access, because I've got pet pigeons on the
Oh,
roof.
of course, yes. You're
Mm-hmm.
in the right part of the
And
world for that, sir.
right, so that's what I have. Although I kind of feel like we're starting out with too much money, considering we're supposed to be like low level, like on the street kind of characters who are just kind of yeah, but never mind. But anyways, yeah, I've got a kind of small apartment, and I've got pigeons, and I take public transit. I don't have I don't have. Oh, I've got a moped, but I don't use it because I can fly.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
keep in mind, a typical when it comes to money, typical is kind of your person who is like a factory worker, right? Poor would be
Hmm.
someone who works at part-time jobs, right, at a convenience store or something like that. Good would be any of your trades, like a lower level, maybe even a early level journeyman. Entry level salarymen, stuff like that are good. Excellent are your salarymen, your journeyman trades, things like that. So, you and in this system, I would assume that you and Tower are probably around excellent. So, um,
I'm at incredible with wealth. So what
yeah, but
does
your character is different. But I'm just saying that as far as understanding what the number means, if you are a journeyman or a professional level tradesman, you are excellent income.
So I have a slightly nicer apartment because remember this is still New England prices.
That's true,
Um,
and you're in a ridiculously expensive place. That's true.
yeah. So I've got a decent apartment. It's not huge,
Yeah,
but it still has rooftop access, and I've got my pigeons that I raise up there.
which is good. Puffin, what? How have you set yourself up? You have your
I
illegal
mean,
alien status rectified. You are now a legal citizen of the United States of America, therefore Earth. Sir, how are you decided to live within this city whilst you work for Omnicore International?
I worked it out with the government that I cloaked my spaceship to look like, kind of like a shack or, shanty looking thing, and I set it up in the park and got a quote unquote, like I just basically live in my ship that's specially designed so I won't burn in the sun. So, that's but it looks like just this some shelter,
Some shanty.
set.
No, well, it sounds like you've visited Pawtucket before. That's good.
I have.
Yeah. So and our headquarters. I hope you're getting the visual of shanty because
Oh
that was
yes.
the intention.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Um,
to get there, I just walk. But since I can, I'm telekinetic. I basically people who see me is like, man, he's walking real fast. Like he's walking faster than his legs should be like able to take him. You know what I mean? But you'd have to really look at him to realize that he's gliding across the concrete.
Yeah, and people might well notice that, but do keep in mind we're living in a world where superheroes are a common thing, or superpowered
Mm-hmm.
people are a common thing. So
Mm-hmm.
it is odd, but people have gotten a little bit accustomed to such things. Let's see here. Tower, now you are considered extremely valuable, and therefore you're being paid a ludicrous amount of money. You are getting paid money of a top end lawyer, right?
All right.
So
So I
you don't have to rent shit. You can buy.
know that so I knew we were coming to Pawtucket, so I went ahead and bought myself. I bought out Central Auto Services LLC
Hmm.
over on Central Avenue.
Okay.
Nice little 3 car garage shop where I turned the back office into more of like a living quarters and set up one of the bays that could one of the bays to park a car, and the other 2 bays are more like my private workshop.
Sure. Sounds good. All right. So everyone has their place and their setup here in the city. And your first duty is on duty is on Saturday, which gives you 3 days. During that 3 days, you guys can interact with the staff here at the Pawtucket chapter. And ask any questions you might want to ask. You can walk around and acclimate yourself to the city, or what have you. So if you have any questions or anything you want to do, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just press on.
If you go to
Well,
general, I posted a photo of my shop in general,
Okay,
so you can
I
take.
will. All right, let me go over and check that out. Hold on a second.
It is a actual place too, so just so you know, it is a legitimate place in Pawtucket.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like when you do things like that. So this is not in the general. It's over. Oh my God! Of course, that's what your character
um,
looks like.
Hi, flying saucer.
There's his
Yes,
we
character.
should
hello.
still we should still
Where?
have our characters do introductions since we haven't done that
Yeah, I'm
yet.
going to do
So our
that in a
characters haven't even
second.
talked. Yeah.
Yeah, just give me a second. And hold on a second. I'm showing the
Okay.
people. All right. Yeah, there we go. Pawtucket Central Auto Services. Very, very nice. The broken streets of the utter deep cold fridge that is New England. Uh, all right. So, any other questions?
I just love the reaction you had to my character's appearance.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Is
Where's
there?
Express?
I will
Yeah.
go and uh in the office still, like when on downtown, not on downtown, but the 3 days beforehand, go around and ask the office people about where you think I can get some good furniture for reasonable price, type of thing. Uh,
Kitty is probably the most helpful in that regard, but then again, her whole thing is understanding data and what's going on. She knows the city
yeah,
pretty well. She's been here for a couple of years, actually. You find out in
okay,
talking to her, and she gives you all the good places to shop and place you pick up good things for good prices. Now, keep in mind, lady, your character is not poor, right? Your character
right,
is like kind of entry level executive, or not even, they're like an executive level pay. for a person
Just we
working at
we
a
get
firm or
we get
something.
moved around a lot, right?
Well, you're brand new. Your character is very young. You probably just came out of training.
I just
Okay.
imagine Lady's character making it rain at IKEA.
But keep in mind in this, yeah, exactly, yeah. But keep in mind in this world, even if you have low level power, you are a superstar with the young people. The TikTokers, they love this shit, right?
Oh, gravy.
You guys are superstars. You might even be caught up in the miasma of that yourself, lady, being so young. And you guys are
You
actual
make it
powered
weird.
enough to be accepted into Omnicore itself. Not only are you guys instantly famous because of that, you have money. You are paid well to offer your services, which is one of the things Omnicore International does to attract superpowered people. I mean, why would they be part of it? It's not mandated, right? So money. But anyway, she is very helpful to you. Puffin, you were trying to say something?
Oh, I was just wondering if there's any good shellfish place around.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. In
Wonderful.
anywhere in New England, you're going to find great seafood. Yeah,
Uh,
Good. I'll go get that after dark.
how many days do we have until we have to start working at Omnicore?
3.
3.
3.
Okay, I go to the local used furniture stores and essentially buy like 2 futons and some other really cheap, like not nasty, but just garbage furniture to supply this, to kind of convert the office of my shop into like more of like a living quarters that could fit more than one person,
Yeah,
just in case.
no problem.
And
With your wealth score, you don't even have to roll.
I'm
yeah,
gonna.
yeah, I'm trying
Are
to
you
stay
trying to
within
be a Tony?
Like if you want your character to go buy a Bugatti, we'll make a roll.
see, I'm just like trying to think of what's some cheaper stuff.
And that's fine. Just
Yeah.
understand your character. I don't know the history or background of the character you've made here, but maybe you're just a new joiner for Omnicore for some reason. But they pay really, really well, dude. Especially you, because your stats are like demanding high pay, and they're paying you ridiculous amount of money. It's a stupid amount of money. You're like a pro basketball player.
Oh well, in that case, I call in the fanciest contractor in the area. Not the most expensive, but like the second most expensive.
Yeah,
And
I'm just saying
I,
your characters have money.
I'm gonna have them epoxy the floor with that cool swirly pattern that they do on
Oh
the
yeah.
TV shows.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Snap-on lifts.
And
Put the one-shot vents for my armor suit up in bay 1 of 3.
right now,
Paint the
normally that would take about 3 or 4 weeks, but you're in New England, so probably 8 to 10 months.
oh, well, I have money, so like I will ship in the most valuable ethnic people to work on my store.
You'll speed it up by a month or so. But yeah, so that you got that going started. That's great. And we'll have a reoccurring joke of them on the job, because it's New England.
They're all sitting out in the front on lawn chairs eating
Well,
burritos.
understand you are standing in the center, the heart and soul of Union Country, baby.
Oh, they're union.
Oh my.
Of
15
course.
minutes and take a 45-minute break.
Matter of fact,
I'm going.
the
I,
Yankees are the ones responsible, really, for unions existing. I know a lot of people give that credit to the British, and they certainly were involved with it. But no, the Yankees did that shit. But whatever. So all right, so you got that going on. That's excellent. So you guys have got your things going on. You've accustomed yourself, and keep in mind, like I made the reference, you guys are basically getting paid sports athlete things. He's like, a high signer because of his level, but you're all kind of like professional athlete pay is what you're getting money wise. Anyway,
Just
let's
not
move on.
starters.
No, he is, but you guys
Yeah.
aren't. But nevertheless, we're going to get into it here. So you guys show up for work on Saturday at noon, and you're there's no bone shift or graveyard shift here with this, but you guys will be working into the evening, and you go in and you have yourselves a conversation with Yo-Yo Mama. So let me bring her back up. And she brings you into the situation room, and this place here. Okay. And she starts your orientation, and she's going to show you and brings up on the big screen there the threat reports for Pawtucket Chapter House. And these are there, of course, are more problems. In Pawtucket is a pretty rundown place, just like a lot of New England and the Rust Belt. It's all used to be prime real estate with wonderful manufacturing and fabrication, and it's all turned to shit and rust. And there are a lot of problems. The police, of course, handle lots of it, but you guys will get called in for various things. However, there are a list of people who are known to be operating in the area that are a serious threat, enough threat as to be given during your first orientation. So these are the current ongoing problems we have. Pancho Sanchez. No, Paco, sorry. Paco Sanchez. Now, Paco is a myth. And Paco is basically a street thug. He's known to have affiliations with many of the local gangs. The Latin Kings, particularly, are a major problem up in New England. And he's kind of basically a heavy that gets paid pretty good money to come in and just break things. Paco. Next, we
Okay.
have Dante. This is just a presentation by Yo-Yo Mama showing you the general threats that they are concerned with in the area. The next one we have here is Dante Martinez, another gangbanger. He's an Omni, and he's basically a fire controller and an arsonist, and he's not quite kill on sight, but they would love to see him taken off the streets. This guy is a serious menace. Where Paco
Well,
is
we
just
aren't
a
supposed to kill.
no, you guys
Yeah.
are no, of course you're not. Dante will kill your ass though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. But Dante, and of course, you guys have any kind of device that you have on you, whether it be tablets or phones or whatever kind of things you own. There's none provided, although on your character sheets, everyone can write down comms. You have comms given to you by Omnicore that allow you to communicate with Kitty, of course, when you're out in the field. Other than that, you have your own stuff, and you can get access to the data files in the background. I just kind of have their fight sheet up here, but there's also some background on them. The next one is Matilda Ongure. She is another myth, although you can see she's a bit like Kitty. She's mixed. She's mixed blood, and this one is Yo-Yo Mama says that she is barely on the list, but she's kind of a radical environmentalist. She's an activist, and but occasionally her violence gets a bit out of control. So she's on the list and she needs to be brought in. But you have Matilda here. Then, of course, probably one of the most concerning ones that's been known to be operating in the area for several years, and they haven't been able to get a beat on him at all. But of course, we have the Dark Frank.
Like Shaggy.
That's gonna be one of those
That's
games.
great.
That's
Yeah.
We're not going to
great.
be able to stop him. We shouldn't even try. He's
No.
out of our league.
He is
So
way out
he's
of your
fine.
league. He's way out of your
Just
league.
so
Yeah.
is Yo Mama just showing us the profile of these people right now?
Yeah, and like I said, if you got phones and stuff, you can see all the detail yourself. But
Just look at it. Oh my God, the Riz.
Yeah.
Oh
But
no.
But no,
Oh
these are just the
no.
things operating in the area that are a concern for she's the chapter chief. This is the kind of dangerous people going on in the area, and of course, other than the Dark Frank.
Mhm.
Beware, she does warn you about the Dark Frank. There's another one who, honestly,
Oh gosh.
he's on the list, but he's a human because they're not really sure what the Dark Frank is. They assume he's an Omni, but they don't have enough on him. The other one is a human, and he's a bit of a fool, but his wrestling abilities are to such an extreme that he's not
Oh
easy to
no.
catch. And of course, we have Ranger Dick.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Ranger
Oh
Dick.
Ranger Dick.
no.
Ranger Dick.
He's a
That's not
Tanuki.
that's a raccoon mask
Oh.
and fake tail. That
Yeah.
he's not an actual myth.
I was really worried
He's a
for a second.
furry.
He's a furry.
Hurry!
No, even worse.
He's a furry.
No.
You gotta look out for Ranger Dick, and he is a dick. So you know. So, but anyway, these are the main individual threats that they're worried about. There are two cult-like organizations working in the city that you also should be aware of. The first one, they're it's one of those situations where they know they're corrupt and up to no good, but they have no proof. But nevertheless, it's something that needs to be paid attention to. The first one is the New Dawn. The New Dawn's their premise is that humanity is inferior and Omni should rule the world. Pretty standard bad guy
Yeah.
villain cult stuff. Adeline Potter here is the head priestess of the cult. She's in charge, and she herself is a fair threat. Her both telepathy and now keep in mind these data sheets you're looking at are Omnicore's assumptions or maybe
Mhm.
some data they've got. This isn't necessarily accurate to the extent of what they can do or necessarily even the power rank, but it's their best assessment. And even though you guys are in a rundown backwater part of, because keep in mind, every little town in the world doesn't have an Omnicore. These are things that are set in cities that often are regional. Providence would cover most of Rhode Island. You guys are in Pawtucket because it's so dystopian and you work just there. But you guys are kind of backwater. But the agency itself, Omnicore International, does have some very effective people. So this data is probably fairly accurate. Anyway, Adeline Potter is, like I said, they know what she's up to, but they have no data. Let me check our fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, she got 6. I wonder why AI has trouble with the fingers, huh?
Well, because maybe it's like 5 fingers it thinks, but it's not counting the thumb with that, so it's
Maybe. Yeah, it needs to be educated. But nevertheless, she's an Omni, so it makes sense actually.
One of her eyes is blue, the other one's brown.
Yeah, I like that though. I like that aspect of it. I like that. Yeah. Because that means that if Charles Xavier ever meets her, he's going to hit on her.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Looking at her eyes.
karma for the
Yeah,
GM
right.
again. All right.
Yep,
So
you just get all the karma.
I just get all the karma. Now, one of the things that's interesting about the New Dawn, they're not only are they Omni exceptionalists, they are also hardcore feminists, and all their
Oh
members
God.
are female. Here's an average female member. Now this one's
Mm.
much better.
It's Black
For a
Cat.
Thank
feminist, she
you,
actually looks
AI.
attractive.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who's she attractive for, though?
Uh,
Right.
Her hair is the wrong color.
But no, her hair is the same as her leaders. They all have white hair. But
Oh.
she's got the right number of fingers. I think she's got the right number of other things.
That's
And
good.
Yeah, that's a. But I don't know. I think the picture for Adeline came out really good. Other than the fingers, it's a good looking picture.
Yeah.
I like the metachromia here. I like that. But whatever it's called, heterochromia. Yeah. But anyway, this is an obvious normal cult member. So like I said, they have no evidence to move on this group at all. But they know they're up to no good. They know they are, and they're recruiting, and they are militant. They are hardcore militant. So it's just something that you have to keep an eye out. Now, um, only Adeline is known to be an Omni of any kind of power. Her members are all Omnis because they are on the exceptionalist. But they don't know what the individual powers would be. That's why you only see their tech stuff that they have on. These are tech objects: machine gun, venomite, and stealth. These are all technological things. So they each individual member will probably have their own abilities as well. And then the other, go ahead, Tower.
She only has 3 fingers, and the thumbs are not thumbs.
Well, I choose not to acknowledge what you're saying.
Thank you.
It's a good
She has
answer.
fingers?
Good answer.
Yeah, because she has two things that I appreciate.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Me too.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
Well, 4 things. The legs are nice too.
yeah, the whole package. Anyway, that's one, and the second organization. Now, of course, there are gangbangers and stuff, but keep in mind, you guys can deal with street level stuff. Sure, no problem. The cops, you haven't met the cops yet, but you would assume they wouldn't mind. You guys do have forced legal interaction with police, so but these are just kind of bigger threats that you keep your eye on, and you guys could even pursue if you decided. Right? It's up to you. The other organization, they're not sure how big this one is. But they do know of at least two members, and there certainly are lackeys as well. But Dr. Zim is a character coming out of Europe, but he's known to be in this area for at least the past year and a half, at least. And Dr. Zim is uh, he's a serious threat. You guys would have a hard time dealing with him by yourself, the four of you.
Does
He's
he have a robot sidekick named Gurr?
no. I have. The problem with AI art is it's a bit obsessed, as you'll see in a minute,
Yeah.
with certain things. But this guy is an actual alpha, beta alpha level threat. He's serious. These numbers you see here are what they assume. And the way I set it up to make it easier for me is the A represents action. So anything he's doing that's action related is going to be a 40 unless I choose to give him a skill to bump it up to a 50. The D represents his ability for dodging and defensive stuff or what have you, and the health is just what you see. But this guy is no joke, and he does have his homunculi, which are not lackeys. These are things that he creates, kind of like Doom bots. He's Doctor Doom, is what he is.
Oh, Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And he is known to have one associate in the area. He has more. This guy is actually on Omnicore International's actual list, not Pawtucket's one. So he's a kind of a big hitter in the area. And his one of his known associates that are in the area with him, of course, are Andrea. And yeah, you see what I mean by
Mad
the
Max.
AI, right? It has an obsession.
Mhm.
It does.
I think
Uh,
I know the. That looks like they took. I don't know the name of the actress, but it reminds me of someone.
yeah. Well, I'm not complaining about it. That's actually what I like. I mean, any man appreciates proper milkers. Sorry, lady, but this is actually kind of the form I appreciate. But Andrea is Zim, his purpose is just kind of the classic villain, monologuing villain, where he's better than everybody and he deserves to have everything. He's that kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Andrea, she works for him for whatever her personal reasons may be, but her favorite thing is just simply torturing people to death.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
nice.
just murderous and vicious. So
She's
much
into
so she actually
BDSM.
gets bonuses for it. Go ahead, Tower.
Oh,
She's into BDSM.
She is.
Oh no.
yeah,
Maybe.
that would make sense.
It would make
Good,
sense. And
good job,
he,
Power.
it kind of,
You're
yeah.
It's been longer than 15
This
minutes,
is
so
a
good job.
more professional thing I took off of Pinterest, I believe, AI art, where this one you can see the eye. It's getting there, dude. But
Mm-hmm.
it's still cool as shit, though. I love it.
Mm.
All of this is created on computer. It's easy for me to collect. But honestly, the best one, the best one, it's Ranger Dick.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh yeah,
You
obviously.
can't get better.
You can't get better Ranger Dick.
Dick in his mouth.
And the Shaggy one I took off of Pinterest. So
I kind of figured.
yeah.
That's not Shaggy. That's Frank.
It's Frank. It's the Dark Frank. But the Dark Frank.
Okay.
But this one is probably not. This one's probably not AI. Actually, I think that's drawn.
Yeah,
But
that's
everything
Yeah.
else is
Yeah.
AI though, and generated by me, most of it. So anyway, these are things to keep your eye on as you guys move along. Now, um, after this meeting, you guys have a quick briefing with Kitty, and she basically makes sure all of your comms are working. And in order for her to do that, she needs to interact with your any kind of helmets or headwear you're wearing. Now, the almighty Cloaca wears a helmet, and she asks for it.
Of course. Just don't break it. I only have one.
Oh, no, she says, "Oh, no problem. I'll take care of it." And she takes the helmet and she takes the comm device, and you notice that she's holding in her hand, and the comm device starts floating in the air, and you see all of this like a magical circuitry moving around the inside of the helmet where the comms go, and it perfectly melds itself in a technomancy form type of way into the helmet, perfectly integrated. And she also, when she hands it back to you, says, "Here you go. It worked just fine." There also was a micro fracture in the underlying infrastructure. I repaired it.
I bumped my head on the way coming in here. Thank you.
Take
Okay.
my helmet off, hand it to her.
You have a helmet too. She does the
Yeah,
same thing.
with a breathing apparatus.
Oh, right. Okay.
So she gave me like a communications thingy.
She's
Yeah.
setting it up right now. Lady, what do you need a breathing apparatus for? What's your purpose for it?
Well, originally it was she was more withdrawn, not knowing living among humans until recently, but you kind of changed that, made her younger, so it's more of a just to hide
Just in
her
case.
identity.
Now,
And if they had some kind of smoke detection thing, I figured
well,
she was probably more higher affected by the pollution.
oh, I see, because she's an elf.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. No problem. Kitty does the same thing. She integrates it, no problem, hands it back to you. Yours is a little bit more involved, Puffin, and she actually works with you to integrate it into the technology you already have, and she does it quite well. Because your character is also like an engineer of some kind, isn't he?
Yes, I believe so. I have to check. I believe so. Yeah, he'll just hand her the earpiece because he's still in a human form.
Oh, fine. And she does her thing. You can see that her abilities are technologically based. And Tower,
Ooh,
your character doesn't have a helmet, right?
Well,
no,
I would
so
assume.
essentially, if I could, have like the equivalency of a Walkman that's like attached to the side of my waist. with like the earbuds, and that's my communicator.
That's fine. She
Like you got a whole you're tech
Around with
based.
a- Oh, I know. It looks like I'm walking around with a Walkman, but it's super high tech.
Yeah, so it takes very little effort for her to get yours prepared. But after that's all said, you guys go out on the street. Now, like I said, there are three types of vehicles to use. The other ones you don't need. You're not on some surveillance mission. You're not dealing with a riot or something. Therefore, the big flying vehicle. You guys are on the motorcycles. So you guys head out for your nightly patrol. And one of the things with Omnicore, because other than paying a lot of money to get people to come on and to join them and be part of it, they also allow you to wear your individual costumes. You're not required to wear uniforms. You do have a badge, which you guys have seen it. It's on your character sheet, and that badge is like a cop badge or FBI badge or something like that. You do have badges, but you're allowed to wear any costume you want. There's no restrictions whatsoever on that. Obviously, the cloaca has a cloaca,
Mm-hmm.
so it's all good. But you guys are riding around the city, and one of the things you during training, because no matter where your characters come through, you've gone through at least a cursory amount of training, right? And one of the things is, what's the rule in role playing? What's the rule? Never split
The
the
rule.
party. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
rule.
I was gonna say the rule of cool, but that's fine.
Well, that's true. That's important too.
I was gonna say
Although
never
you
piss
did
off
make
the
the
GM.
cloaca.
I know it's the coolest thing ever.
No,
No, it's
no,
not.
it's really not.
Yeah,
It's a dumpster fire with wings.
Can we
it's
get
great. I love
every
it.
All
good
right, now
relevant pun?
I'm going to go get myself some more coffee. And as you guys are riding around in your motorcycles, just checking out the town and looking for any kind of trouble, please introduce your characters to each other and therefore the viewers. Go ahead.
I go because I'm gonna get some ice.
Um,
Up.
I
Okay.
really would. So I do not, by the way, have like where you guys are on regular dirt bikes. I have my own from the shop. It's a KTM 400 Supermoto.
Whatever.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, bright
You have a
orange.
flexor.
Just
Puffin, would you like to go first?
Sure. My name is, well, they call me the Pulse. I am a person of minimal talents, but of high telekinetic ability. I have trained for a very long time, and I'm just trying to, give back to the world that's given me so much. Not
All right.
telling that I'm actually an alien. Not going to tell anybody that.
mm,
I will tell them that I do have a crippling allergy whenever my powers manifested. I am, the reason I wear this suit is I am deathly allergic to sunlight. Turns out, when my powers manifested, I burn like a vampire. Turns out.
what is a vampire? But no, so
You would know what a
the
vampire.
you're the Pulse. Is there anything I can call you that's a little simpler, like instead of be like, hey, the Pulse?
You
Just
just
call
call
me
him
Roger.
Pulse, or
Yeah.
call him by his name.
Call him Pulse. Yeah, the Pulse. Well, okay, I'll just call you Pulse to be in character.
That's fine. Call me Pulse.
All right. So, should I go next?
Sure.
Yes.
All right. So, I'm Mr. O'Leary. Don't ask my first name because I'm not sure he quite remembers what it was. Everyone just calls him Old Man O'Leary. Well, he's from Detroit, the city of automobiles, and he grew up working on cars, all that stuff. He has essentially his own homemade, like Iron Man suit, and he uses it to fight crime. And the reason he's so successful and well known as he was, because in Detroit he made a whole line of automobiles and cars. So he was a pretty well known mechanic, and he made his riches that way. And
Oh,
after
that's
making
right.
his suit,
I forgot you are a tech, and Lady is a magi. So
Yeah,
I
Mhm.
apologize, Lady. You can be any age you want.
Huh?
yeah.
I
So
was
yeah,
thinking everyone was an Omni. You can be any
yeah.
age you like, Lady. Sorry
So
about that.
yeah, he made all of his money making and selling cars and all that stuff in Detroit. Became famous and had a lot of money. And then he made his Iron Man suit, as he'd call it. And he became real buff and powerful and decided to start fighting crime to give back
And
to the
what's your?
community. Him,
Oh, sorry.
and he has all of the abilities of a mid-sized sedan,
He does.
or in this case, like a full van, like a.
Even
He's like a.
blinkers.
It's like a human. No, no, yeah. He has
Yeah, why
blinkers.
not?
Anytime he looks at the pretty women, he just winks an eye, like blink, blink. Yeah,
Okay.
double fist bump.
Wow, that was a
His
dark joke.
emergency lights come on.
Yeah.
Did you get that, Freeman? I
Um.
sent you something.
Oh, what is your superhero name then?
The blinker.
Yeah, blink. No, just call
man.
him O'Leary. Or just call him either old man or call him O'Leary.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got the cloaca. We got ourselves the
I didn't do
pulse.
my
We have.
introduction yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have Old Man O'Leary and Cloaca. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is P. Eugene Stuhlman. Once a mild-mannered amateur cage wrestler, I decided to relax in the park and gaze at the clouds. As I was busy laughing at a cloud bearing an uncanny resemblance to Ted Danson, a radioactive pigeon flew above me. I think we both know what happened next. Thus the almighty Cloaca was born, given the incredible powers of flight and shooting goopy white acid out of my wrists, just like the majestic pigeon.
Was
How'd you
your
like
mouth
that?
open or closed during the incident?
Now you're man.
Yeah. Take 5 karma for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Very nice. All right, we have the almighty Cloaca. We have the Pulse, an alien emotion collector. We have the mid-sized sedan. And lady, once again, sorry, your character doesn't have to be young. I forgot that you're a magi. Only the Omni are under those kind of restrictions. And we only
Yeah,
have one
now you keep
Omni
on
in the group.
changing me up.
I'm sorry.
Only one Omni in the group? Okay.
There's only one Omni
Um,
in the group, which is interesting. But that doesn't really matter. Go ahead, lady. Introduce your character as you guys are riding around on the motorcycles.
my
Oh, by the way,
given name,
sorry, my bad, lady.
my given name is unpronounceable in your language, but I am called Tiri. I am a
How do you
magi
spell
of an
that?
ancient bloodline. I received my unique abilities from the bracer that I wear. I seem to have a talent for air. Strange things. And I don't get most of your human, what you call it, laughter? No? Yes? Jokes? Maybe. That is all.
All right. So, and what is your character's name? Is Tiri.
Cheery, yeah.
Tiri, and she's a little bit something different. You guys have maybe heard rumors of it, and maybe even seen a couple on the TV of these. They fall under the chimera category, but they're associated with the magi. But elves are real, so there you go. But okay, my water's boiling. Very good. JP, say something interesting.
Um. Oh yeah. Just to get this out of the way. So I kind of was once a criminal. I'm reformed now. So just letting you all know, I'm not a bad guy anymore. I just one point in my life I was going through a hard time. I'm just letting you all know.
I
So,
can fix your car if you have problems with it.
Okay, GOP, because you
Mhm.
came out with your character exposed so wildly. What was your name
Mhm.
again in common language?
I am my actual name in the game, like my name given me by my parents, is P. Eugene Stuhlman,
Uh-huh. No
and
coincidence there. No.
yeah,
Yeah.
Thank
not at
you.
all. It's not a
But your hero
comic book.
name is
And my hero name is the Almighty Cloaca.
Cloaca.
I'm not
Cloaca.
calling you that.
Yeah,
If
cloaca.
you guys go to general, the mech suit is roughly what my suit I would assume looks like, minus the big ass gun. Oh yeah, Chester.
See,
By the way, since I have a lot of money, I don't drive that off-brown Chinese stuff. I have a KTM SM 400.
All
you
right.
know, I thought this was more like what Tower's character was going to be like, but I was terribly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
no, I
if
agree. What he's got is rather cool, sans the automatic weapon, but this is what I had in mind as well. Yeah, I
gotta be
think this
car
is
themed,
that's probably better.
you know.
That's probably better.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Well,
just in case anyone doesn't know what a cloaca is, just Google it.
I know what it is.
how do I? Okay, how do I spell this?
Cloaca, you have an etymologist here with you. The cloaca actually is coming from the, well, of course, you go back further into Greek and stuff, but it's a Roman word that originally was used to describe sewers. And we still use it that way in many ways. The actual meaning is to clean, to move, to clean. We also use it for various animals whose areas where they poop and also make love are the same hole. It's called a cloaca.
Oh, it's a do everything hole.
It is a do
Nice.
everything hole.
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But he
So he's, when I said he was a dumpster, I was being, quite literal.
You were. You were. It's very accurate,
or
actually.
caveman,
Flying
cave
Saucer
for
says
caveman.
WTF. I agree, sir.
Mhm.
But
That was the response I wanted.
yes. But anyway, so let's move along. Now you guys are on patrol. Everyone's doing the proper Chinese knockoff bike, except for Mr. O'Leary. And like I said, Omnicore does try to bend over backwards to accommodate you in many ways, because it's very important that Omnicore is successful. So they pay a
Gotcha.
lot of
Yeah.
money and things like that. But you guys are patrolling along, and now we need to get in to start rolling some dice. Okay, so
Cool.
Okay.
let me go ahead and bring that up. And someone has been over here playing. God, you people, don't even clean up after yourselves. But now I have the chart sitting here in the back just for for conveniences. I do have a better chart which we'll use in combat or so. I don't know. This will probably work because all the information we need is here. We don't really need anything at the top end at all. So it's all kind of here, but we'll see how it goes. But nevertheless, as you guys are riding around on your bikes, having chats and paying attention, everyone needs to roll a what did I call it? Wisdom?
There is a wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom.
Yes.
So
Wisdom roll from everybody. Now, if you have any skills like detective espionage, observant, or any kind of skill that allows you to, you know, intuit things, you can add those to this roll. I didn't see anyone kind of leaning in that direction, but if you do,
nope.
apply it. So take your wisdom, and we'll just go one by one here. Puffin, what is your wisdom?
5.
I'm sure it's not a 5.
It
It's
is.
an. I really
It's
don't need
typical.
numbers. What I need is
It's
a
typical.
typical. Thank you. Thank you. Now, do you have any skill that would bump that up?
Nope.
Okay, so make a roll.
Okay.
Okay. I heard the roll from your side. I don't see it over here yet.
He rolled a 19.
Yeah, all right. Let me just refresh my page then. Okay, he rolled a
Oh, we both
19.
think for this. Okay.
Okay. No problem. So if we look under our chart, a 19 is a white result, and that means failure. Now,
Okay.
in this case, it's just a wisdom roll, so it doesn't, there's no blowback or harm to it. You just fail, miserably. Or not.
Mm-hmm.
Just fail. In this case, it's just failure. GOP.
I failed. I have a typical, and I rolled a 38.
Okay. Lady.
Wisdom of excellent, and I have detective / espionage.
So therefore, you have remarkable. Excellent. All right. I shouldn't
Okay.
say those words together, should I, GOP?
Mm-hmm.
You're
You
going
should
to
not.
mock me forever. You're rolling
I
under
will.
remarkable, lady. Make the roll. All right.
72.
So
Ooh.
72. All right. Now that under remarkable is a yellow result. Very nice. And last but not least, tower.
I have a typical, and I rolled a 14.
Okay. I don't see the rolls. But
Oh,
You get a roll on the thing. Tower.
I was using the physical dice.
Nope. Roll on the thing. Like
roll
we're all rolling.
on the thing.
Yes, roll on the thing.
On the web
You know the thing you
page.
get to roll on.
I was
Everybody
so
else
happy
is rolling.
to roll physical dice.
No.
Go play with
Sorry.
somebody else if you want to roll physical dice.
Send me the link to this again, GOP.
Oh my
My
goodness.
goodness.
Okay,
You know, I'll
that's
be
Jesus,
after
man.
Russell's
Come
happy.
on.
Okay, I'm sending it.
I'll be right back.
Hold on. What the hell? What is that noise?
What the?
When he comes into the room, it rolls all his dice.
Yeah, it did that for
Oh
me
my
too
God.
because I'm playing on the laptop.
It's okay.
Why are they all different?
I
did
don't
that to me
know.
too and made
I
a
don't
noise.
know, but that's okay. Roll your percentile dice, please.
I don't even have this shit on. Oh my god! I don't.
You
I
were
have
supposed to
figure-
get it fixed before the game
You
today.
were.
I sent it to you.
I have my physical dice out.
No.
Mhm.
Click on the link and then roll your dice.
Yeah, I know. I have to figure out how. Fine. Here, yeah. You
You
sent me
already
the
had
link.
all those dice to begin
Yep.
with. Oh my goodness.
Okay, this is different, but my dice are still beyond messed up. Okay, what is a magic dice?
It doesn't
What?
matter.
No.
Just roll 2 10-siders, one of them being a percentile die.
I
That's
That's
not at all what you're supposed to do. No.
don't have the
That's
percentile
just two
dice, and I
regular.
don't.
That's two single.
You
What is
Okay,
it
if
at?
you click.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Tower. If you click on the little thing with the 3 squares and the plus,
Yes.
get more dice.
Yes.
Find one of the dice that's not like a theme dice. The ones that just have the numbers on them. And you can
There.
click on it, and you'll see the 2 10-siders. So the one is going to have a 10 on it, and the other one's going to have a 00. You want to have the 00 one somewhere in your bar. Probably put it next to your D10.
Yeah,
on your-
it's only showing me on top. Let's see. What is
Yeah, pick one of those ones on top, one of the D20s you see up there
R
that
none?
actually show the 20.
It's all whacked out dice.
You look over, like there's the red ones, there's the gray
No,
ones.
Yeah, there's just it says available themes on top, or
Yeah.
then you have yeah, they are all whacked out dice. They're all D20s and they're all beyond readable.
Okay, so there's no D20s that just say 20 on them.
Here's one. I have one regular D.
Okay.
Okay, it's a little bit better, I
Click
guess.
on that one, and then
Here.
you'll see. You see a 10, one with a 10, and one says 00.
Oh yeah,
You're
let's
gonna
see.
want to drag the 00 next to your 10 on your bar at the bottom.
What's it's? Come on now, thingy.
It is
And that way,
interesting, Puffin, how in the year 2023, the youngest amongst us is the most technologically illiterate.
all right, cool. He rolled a 56.
A 56. There we go. And he's under typical. Now, I told you guys to balance yourselves out, but you didn't. You didn't.
Nope.
So you're all a bunch of blind bastards who don't see shit.
Actually,
Except
no.
for lady.
56. He would see it for
Yeah, no.
typical.
Well, no, he wouldn't.
Just barely.
No, he wouldn't because he needed yellow for this roll.
Oh, okay. Green. He would be green, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But lady succeeded. So, lady, you get 5 karma.
Yay!
Okay. Now, as you guys are chatting and introducing yourselves, lady, as you all drive, because you're not going super fast, you guys are on patrol, so you're going kind of slow. But off to your left-hand side, which would be heading west at the current direction you're heading, you see there's an alleyway, and there seems to be some kind of fight going on over there, some kind of disturbance happening in this filthy, dirty alleyway.
I immediately hit comms, tell them fight down the alley west
Hmm?
All
and
right.
turn that way.
All right. We all go.
Okay, you guys head into the alley, and there, sure enough, is a large gathering of people. Now, right now is because you guys are just training, you're not actually running the night. So this is daytime. It's about 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Actually, most people are working, but there's a large crowd of people here gathered around in like a circle, and they're all shouting. And as you coming out,
It's a cockfight.
it seems to be some money being put on lines. You can't see what's happening at the center of the crowd. Lady had seen some fighting, and they weren't chickens. But from this current vantage point, you can't see anything. It's just people. You guys pull up on your motorcycles, you kick the stands, and what are you going to do?
As we're coming into it, I'm reporting back to base.
Okay,
To
good.
Kitty? Was it Kitty her
Kitty.
name? No.
Yeah, Kitty.
Between this road and this road, this street and this street, down the alley is assembly of humanoids. Don't know what part
Well,
they
they're
are.
humans. You're not that detached from reality, lady.
Okay, they're
You're really,
humans.
really not. Yeah, they're
We
humans.
They are
did
some sort of
perceive-
biological
I did perceive
organisms.
some kind of physical altercation between two of them.
Okay, so lady thinks elves are Vulcans. Sweet. All right. Well, there you go.
I think
Elves
she's
are
saying
Vulcans
it
in our
to-
world. Nice.
Yep.
Um,
That's how we're going.
Role playing. Hey. And of course, she spits back the street at you. You are being GPS tracked by Kitty, of course. She's watching your activities. Okay, so you report back. What do you guys do?
How far
Okay.
are we? How many are there in total?
Well, you don't know what's going on at the center of this. There seems to be
I'm-
some kind of fight going on.
I-
There's gambling happening, which
I
is
fly up-
illegal, highly illegal in Rhode
Mhm.
Island. They're very anti, unless you're an Indian. If you're an Indian, you can do all the gambling you
Mhm.
like. Okay.
I'm gonna fly above and see what's going on.
Okay. Perfect. What do you do, Tower?
I don't wanna get too involved just yet until we know what's going on. So I'm going to wait for my my buddy Cloaca to give us some more information.
Sweet. What about you, Puffin?
I'm gonna walk up to the group and it's like, "What's the bets?"
One of the
Like,
guys
what's the
says, he says, "Oh man, it's up to 150 on tonnage."
What's the game?
Well, now that you've moved up and you can kind of tiptoe yourself and see, there's two dudes fighting. One of them seems to be like maybe a mixed breed myth. The other one looks human, but he's like Randy size.
Mm.
And they're just fighting, and they clearly have superpowers because the damage being done is more than what a human could do. And
Mm.
you don't know which one's called tonnage, but this guy's betting on tonnage,
I'm guessing Tonnage is the hefty fellow on the right.
probably.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna thank for the information and check the cash in my wallet, and I'll be like, what are the
What's the
odds?
odds?
What's the
Well,
odds?
he says he points over that dude right there. You go over and talk to that dude, and we'll see what lady is doing here. Well, she's already doing what she's doing. But the last interaction for you, and the odds are 2-1 for tonnage.
All right, so if I bet on the other guy, I'll make more money, right?
Oh, sure, if he wins, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna get my money back either way. But what's the starting? Like, what's the minimum?
150.
Jeez.
150. Man, that's a lot of money for poor people to be out here. I'm gonna
Fucking
go out
rude.
here and well, I'm just thinking that to myself. I'm like, deep down, I'm an alien. And it's like, man, these people do not know how to like. No wonder their planet hasn't gone interstellar. Shoot, can't even manage their money. So,
Okay.
I'm gonna walk
Make
over
your
to
bet or
the.
don't make your bet.
I'm gonna make a bet. I'm betting
Okay.
on the non-tonnage.
The non-tonnage. We'll say his name is Wiley. He's got a kind of
Wonderful.
dog motif going on.
The
Okay.
coyote.
Yeah.
All right.
More karma for the GM.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I picked up on it.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
just
what,
waiting.
about 30 points for
Waiting
you?
for my turn. Yeah, he
All
gets
right.
all the
So
points.
then we go to the actual action in play. Cloaca, you fly up
Yeah.
above. Now your flight. What kind of flight do you have? How do you fly?
I have wings.
You have wings.
Like a
Therefore,
bird.
therefore you can hover. Not all
Mhm.
flight in the game has hover, right? But
Understandable.
wings do have hover. So you get above and you're hovering above and you see the scene. There's probably about 50, 60 people have made a circle. This is basically a betting street fight that's going on. You got one guy who's looks like he's at least partially myth. He's got a little bit of kind of canine features, and you have another guy who just seems to be a big fat guy. But the
Okay.
blows that are being swung are certainly empowered. Let's put it that way.
I'm making
All
sure
right.
the guy.
I'm going to fly above, so everyone can see me, but like out of reach. You know. Disperse, citizens! This is an illegal activity. And I just flash my badge, kind of
Okay.
thing. You know.
So what is
A
your
little.
pop?
My pop is. Let me just go back over here. Excellent.
Your pop is excellent. So make an excellent pop roll with that. Now, this is, you can get into actually doing various social roles, and they don't fall under this. They fall under wherever mind skill they fall
Oh
under.
gosh!
But the initial
Oh, no!
interaction is.
I can't see. Oh my
is
god,
your
no! I did not. I did not succeed.
You did.
That's
That's a
that is
7.
a 7.
That's a 7.
Yes,
It's still
But
that is a
allowed.
failure.
a few people in the crowd actually look up at you. Most of them ignore you. The few that do look up actually laugh.
Okay. Okay.
No one dare laugh at the almighty Cloaca!
All right, that's
I'm
your
just
action this round. Back to Lady. Lady, what are you going to do?
I'm trying to see if maybe these two guys are set this up trying to make some money. So trying to con the normal people. So if there's anything interesting in the crowd, I do have thief skills.
Jesus.
Once again, 4-color superhero. 4-color
anyone-
superhero.
Oh my
You're
gosh!
not gamblers. You're not thieves. You
Oh,
are
no.
superheroes.
I am like, I sound like a supervillain, but I'm the only one who's trying to be a hero right now.
Right.
Good job.
Well, we haven't seen what Tower's done yet. Anyway, I'm
Oh, well,
sorry, lady. What
he
is
was
it you're
waiting.
doing?
Yeah.
Uh,
What
I'm
are you
trying to
Robbing
doing?
the poor.
I'm trying to get through the crowd without hurting nobody to try to put a gust of wind between the two combatants once they
So you're
try to
going to
break them up.
move into combat. All right.
Yeah.
You can do that. Now the crowd is certainly going to slow you down. So you won't be able to
Right.
you won't be able to make that roll until next round. But this
Okay.
round you'll be able to spend weaving your way through the crowd. You're an elf, or you're smaller in life, so that's not a problem for you. Tower, what are you doing?
All right, so I'm in my armor, obviously. I walk up to the crowd and I look at them like, citizens of Paul Tucket, y'all know gambling here is illegal. Y'all need to disperse immediately.
All right. What's your pop?
My pop is incredible.
Yes. Yes, and that big old shiny armor helps a lot. So go ahead and roll that pop, sir.
Yes, sir. No, I don't want to do that. Okay.
Yeah, you're using the same dice over and over and over again. So,
Let's get
53, incredible, no problem. You don't need we don't need an extreme roll to get their attention anyway. If you had rolled higher, however, they would have actually started dispersing. But you rolled a green, so they're definitely paying attention to you. You hear a general moan go throughout the group. At the end of this round, the two fighters stop and look over toward you because it gets to them by then. A few of them are kind of whining to you, "Man, oh, come on, man, we're just having some fun." So in essence, you've stopped the activity. People have not dispersed yet.
about what's fun. We care about what is legal. Good sir.
Puffin.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look at
Well,
so
keep in
everything
mind now, old man O'Leary's messing with your money now.
he is messing with my money, but I'm gonna mess with I'm gonna make sure that my money rolls in. Let's see. Let's
Not
because
money flying saucer.
whenever I use
Go
my
ahead.
telekinesis, it's at a incredible rank because of my skill focus in it. You helped me with that one, so let's use some telekinesis. That's 47 on
Okay.
incredible.
Now keep in mind this is your ability to use it. It's not the effect though.
Okay. So, what do I roll for the effect?
Well, that is what's the rank? What's the power rank of the ability?
We had it at excellent, but when I used it, I have the skills, the focus skill
Yeah,
plus
skills
2
have
CS.
nothing to do with anything other than the roll. The effect is only on the power rank of the ability. So you
Oh, okay.
somehow have got skills that are giving you a +2 to
hmm
use that ability, which is fine. You specialized in it. Cool.
hmm
But the effect, the power rank doesn't change.
Oh, yes. So,
Yeah. So
I think at
excellent.
excellent, I can manipulate up to 800 pounds, I
Yep,
believe.
800 pounds. That's perfect. All right. So,
So,
and you can also do 10, excuse me, 20, whatever your number is, crushing or striking damage, force damage as well. Therefore, what are you doing with this roll?
I'm just levitating both the fighters into the air.
Okay, you're lifting them. You do not have
Mhm.
the strength to do that. You
Oh,
get one of
I
them
thought you
up.
were gonna like push the one fighter's arm into or like fist into
oh,
the
so
other
one of
guy's
them's
face, but
super
like with your
heavy.
Well, no,
telekinetic
he
power.
can get one of them up.
So them combined is over 800 pounds. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they are over 800. Yeah.
Well, I'll lift one of them up into the. Which one can I get? Like either one I choose.
Wiley would be way easier. Tonnage is literally on the edge of your ability. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if I lift a tonnage, I can put him out of the ring, and then I can win by default when he's not paying attention.
Either way, choose one.
Yeah, I'll just push tonnage out of the ring, just force push him out of the ring, and be like, oh well, he left the ring. Bummer.
Oh.
I just go
Okay,
collect my
now,
money.
what you're doing in this case, you are grappling. Okay,
Hmm.
and your grappling is let's see, where's that? That's the problem with this. The top edge of it is bleeding
Mm-hmm.
out.
You should use the thing I
I
sent
have
you.
I have my thing. So I'll just
Okay.
bring it up. Yeah, I have my thingy.
All right. Well, we all have our
That's what
thingies.
she said.
She said she
Oh,
has a thingy.
That's morale.
What was
Oh,
that?
that.
All right. So your number was a green under grappling. Now, this is the great thing about this chart. It has all the different things you can do built right into it. It's
hmm
really very handy. So if we look under the grappling here, we have grabbing and we have grappling. They're two separate things. All right, you're not trying to grab an
Mm-hmm.
object; you're trying to grab a person. So it's under the first one, and
VP.
it's strength based. But this is your TK is based on your strength. Okay, and you have advantage in it, so you get a +2. So it's under incredible. You got a green,
Mm-hmm.
which means you missed. In order to grapple things that are capable of movement, like a human or an animal, you have to get a yellow just to get a hold of it. Okay. And that's only a partial hold, but it's enough to do what you were trying to do. If
hmm
you want to have a complete, utter control of the person, you need a red. All right.
Okay.
So
Um.
this chart right here, which I'm showing, you can look on the YouTube
Okay.
or on my thing.
I'm looking.
You can see this chart. It's the first one where it has miss partial hold, and then in the grabbing, they left out they misspelled that.
I know there's tons of spelling errors. I love it.
Throughout
It's
the whole
just
book. Yeah, no, it's yeah,
yeah.
that's true. But the grabbing one is for objects, and that one's dangerous because if you get a red on that, in that case, you actually break the object. Depending on the material of strength. But you see, we got everything in here. We got blunt attacks, edge attacks, shooting attacks, thrown attacks, throwing edge and throwing blunt, energy force, grappling, grabbing, escaping, charging, dodging, evading, blocking, catching, stun, slam, and kill. We have all these things. Now, you guys can do special little things like ground strikes and all those kind of, if you have the strength, and all kind of little combat maneuvers. You just tell me what you want to do, and we can make it happen. But it's very handy. Everything you need is right there, and it shows you exactly the color you need or what the color does. So you with your roll, a fair attempt, but you're incapable of getting a hold of either one of them. They know your presence though. They realize you're trying to do something to them. Alrighty.
Oh.
So let's go ahead and
Question.
yeah, go ahead.
So with grabbing in any circumstance, because I'm using telekinesis, it goes off of will instead of strength.
No, it goes off your power rank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you've added to your power rank. The will with mental abilities is your limitation. You can never have a power rank that is higher than your will. In this case, with psionics or magic, things like that. Um, it has nothing to do with anything else. It's just
Okay.
that's your wall. You can't go past that. Now, your
Okay.
skills are simply your column shifts because you're good at a thing. It's not your rank. So your skill roll can be higher than your will. That's okay.
Okay.
But the power rank itself cannot be. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see who else we have here. So lady is moving in. You tried to do something to interact with them. Tower.
So what all is going on right now at this exact moment?
The almighty cloaca has told them. No, sorry, you actually got their attention. I apologize. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a new round. I apologize. New round. Now, the crowd itself is, because he rolled successfully, is going to begin to disperse, and there's arguments about money already kicking off, and all that kind of chaos is happening, but his role was successful with the mundanes. The big guys might well have a different opinion. Um, we don't, you don't know what Wiley's doing, but Tonnage is quite clear what he's doing. Initiative. So everyone roll a 10-sider and then add your speed. Now, Tonnage is fairly fast. He's not your guy's
Ooh.
speed, but I don't think he'll win. But let me go ahead and
Nope.
make my roll.
28.
28, very nice. I got a 14.
I got a 12.
You got a okay. You can add your pluses into the roll.
It,
I
it's
forget.
my what now? My speed.
I
Your
rolled a
speed.
2.
Speed.
Plus
Your
your roll.
Your speed is a plus number.
29.
Yeah, you guys are fast.
I'm
So Puffin, once again, what did you get?
9.
I got a 9. GOP.
I got a what was it? I rolled a 9, so it would be a 28.
28. Lady.
2, so that's a 12.
12. And you also got a 28. Tower.
I
Tower.
got
What?
Wait, I got a 29, Chester.
You got a what?
I got a 29.
A 29. Okay. So Tower, you
I
go
rolled-
first. So it's going to be Tower, GOP, me, and then the other two. So Tower, you get to go first. Now, this is what you see happening. You're walking up in your big old armor and telling anybody to disperse. Many people are. There's a lot of whining and whinging going on. Of course, some people are or yelling at the bookies to give them their money back. As you would expect. Wiley, the dog-looking fella, because only Puffin knows what his name is. He just standing there. Tonnage, however, he's literally charging through the crowd at Puffin because Puffin tried to grapple him energetically, and people are getting damaged by him piling through the crowd, right? Because he's a very powerful thing compared to them, and you see arms getting broken and people being knocked to the ground. It's not good. But your movement is quicker than his movement, so go ahead, Tower.
Okay, so
Tonnage is incoming.
all right. Well, I have my body armor and super speed. So I'm going to use my super speed with instant movement to essentially teleport to like right in front of him to body him to stop him from crushing any more people and protect my good friend Pulse.
Right. Okay, you can do that. Like I said, your speed is instantaneous. And what is your range again? What is your speed range?
6 areas per turn.
Yeah, no problem. So you are there, and you move so quickly you can weave through the people without any kind of major issue, and people are already trying to move, somewhat dispersing because of what you said, and they're also trying to get out of the way of Tonnage. So it's quite easy. You don't need to make a roll to weave through. You're fine, and you find yourself standing square in front of him. Okay, so every round you get to do a certain number of things. Everyone gets the move. All the old classic games, you get a move no matter what. So your move is done. You've moved in front of him. Now, what is your? Well, it depends. Are you a puncher or are you a blaster?
I can say because of my extreme muscular strength and my armor, it's gonna be a puncher with like brass
Okay, so
knuckle.
you're a
Like he.
puncher. All right, no problem. So, what is your tactics roll number?
My tactics is going to be excellent with a 16.
What about the skills? Do you have any skills that make your melee fighting better?
I let me double check real quick.
Like martial arts B,
Plus
things
two,
like that.
I have wrestling.
Well,
Wrestling.
yeah, but you're not wrestling him. You said you're going to stop him. So I don't know. What are you doing?
Let me put it like this. I was more or less gonna like go in front of him to like tackle, if that's a better word
He's
for
gonna
it.
try and grapple him.
Yeah, I
So you're
want to
going to
Yeah,
grab.
which
try
I
to
is
want to
what
grab.
grapple
wrestling is
him.
for.
So you got to grab up a hold of him. Okay.
Which
No problem.
+2 when making grappling attacks, but
Yep.
no benefit gain damage.
Well, keep in mind, also, because that's a specialization level, right? It costs 2 skills to take that.
No. For that one in particular, it's a +2 at the base level.
No, it's not. I rearranged
I will
everything. I
look at.
told you guys how it worked. Everything, I changed the system. I did. Every
Okay, I would
skill
just in the way
is,
that one in
yeah,
particular
no.
was written.
Every
Yeah.
skill is base +1, +2 gives
Mhm.
you a specialization, and also +1 to your initiative, your speed, right?
Okay.
But so you have to adjust that for him, please. But nevertheless, it's okay. We're going to go with it now. Therefore, your strength is excellent. You get a +2 to the roll, put you under incredible. So make an incredible roll. In order to grapple him completely, you need a red. But to at least get a partial hold and therefore stop him, you need a yellow.
All right.
No.
What
Okay.
I get? Wait,
You
what
got a
was that?
12.
You got a 12, so not even close. Now, keep in mind, you guys all have spirit. Now, I know we're just starting to do it, and you don't know the system well yet, but you can use spirit at any time and add it to these rolls. For instance, that 12, you could add spirit. You just have to say so beforehand. That's all. You
So,
say, I'm
what's
using spirit on this roll. You also can use your karma. I don't advise it because that's burning experience points, but you can, right? Just keep that in mind. But you fail, okay? Which is perfect. It's a good example for combat here. And then
Mm-hmm.
before I go tower, we have GOP.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm seeing he's not stopping, so I'm gonna fly in behind him and I'm gonna strike him. I'm gonna give him the old 1-2 fist kind of thing, you know. So, yeah.
Okay, so
So
you
I'll be
move
using
in.
my tactics
Yep.
and
Any kind of
roll my
bonuses you
dice.
have?
I have a +1 because of I think I have martial arts B.
Yep. Yep. That sounds about
Yeah.
right.
So that would be for
So this
fighting.
is under blunt attacks. So
Oh
there we go.
wow. No, that is a horrible roll.
It
It's just
is.
horrible
Well,
rolls all night.
well, let's take a look at it first, though. So, what is
Mm-hmm.
your tactics standardly?
My tactics standardly are incredible
And you
because
get
I
a
put.
+1
Mm-hmm.
because of martial arts B. Therefore,
Yeah.
you're up to an A, an amazing, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
under amazing, in order to hit, you need yourself a 26. So you do hit.
Under amazing.
Yep,
Oh yeah, I see. I see. Oh, you're right.
it's a green. Now, and
I jumped the gun. Yeah.
if you look under blunt attacks over here, a green is a hit, yellow is a slam, and a red is a stun, and those are all cumulative. So if you roll a red, it would be a hit, a slam, and a stun. That's how it works. But you hit him. So
Cool.
what is your damage?
Okay, so for my damage, how do I calculate that again? Because that's something I'm still a little confused on.
Oh, no problem. Unless you have some super strength or boost or something like that, it is basically with a punch, it's your strength. What is your strength?
My strength, so my muscle
Yeah,
is
muscle.
excellent.
It's excellent. Now, if you had like some special reinforced gauntlets that are of a material strength higher than the damage being done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which you would need like some special titanium or something like that. It would have to be incredible strength, which is not cheap. But if
Yeah.
you had those, it would +1 your damage, column shift your damage. But you don't. So you're doing excellent damage to this guy. And you hit him and you hit him fine, but you can tell you did nothing. However, you're on the edge of doing something. Now, because you're at an amazing, you can actually attempt a second roll. And there's no penalty for you attempting it. All we do is we minus column shift you by, what is it? 4 or 2? Oh, I have to check that.
I thought you said
I
2
think it's
before.
2.
If I
I
was
think it's
like
2.
trying to do a
So,
specialty kind of hit or something
right,
like
right,
that.
right. And at an amazing, you can actually attempt 3. But because it goes down to remarkable, and then the last one would be under good. You can't do multiple attacks under good. You can't do that. So technically, you
Okay.
could take 3 attacks.
Well,
And your character particularly, and because you're just on the edge of it, you should, just for demonstration purposes. So go ahead and make a
okay.
remarkable roll.
All right. Remarkable. I'm doing a reroll. That was a lot better. That's a
It is.
63.
And what is
So
color? What is the color on that?
63 under remarkable is green, just on the upper
Green.
edge of green.
It is. So that's another hit. Would you like to take your last strike?
Of course I will. So I'm going to do that last roll. That is a miss because that's
Okay.
2 lower. Yeah, so that's not
Now
going to hit.
the way this works in the game is you're doing 20 points of damage, and then you hit, and you do another 20 points of damage, but it didn't work like that. What it does is shift it up. So that means you're doing 30. If you got the third one, that would be another 20, and as long as it's within a rank of each other, it would shift it up again. So your character potentially, if he hits all 3, can do incredible damage in a round, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So I
pretty
did
good.
remarkable then
You
because I
did
got 2
remarkable.
hits.
You did you
Okay.
did that kind of damage. So, but we have to go off of your actual number now. So what
Mhm.
is your number under your strength?
Under my muscle is
Your
excellent.
muscle. Excellent. No, the number, please.
Oh, the number 16.
16. So that steps up to it's equivalent in a plus one column shift. Therefore, that would be a 26. So you do 26 points of damage to this guy. He is actually sitting on 16 body resistance, right? Same as you,
Okay.
right? He's a basic beginning level strength level. He hasn't karma experienced himself up. So you were just on the edge of damaging him, and therefore you were able to, with your multiple punches, you did 10 damage. So he's got 10 damage on him, and he doesn't like it very much. But it's certainly not enough to take him out. You didn't roll any slams or any stuns, no yellows in the play. So
Mhm.
it's just straight damage, but you did damage him. Now it's my turn, and because you stepped in the way and he's moving, this is a charge attack. Okay, so therefore he is going to roll under that effect, and the difference between this is his endurance. Now his strength is pretty good, but his endurance is better even in this situation, Puffin. So he's going to be rolling under incredible. He doesn't have any specialties to make him
Wait,
particularly better at
doesn't
charging.
he hit tower?
No, tower. Sorry, tower.
Yeah,
The
towers in front
person
of him.
who stood in front of him. I'm sorry. He was
Yeah.
heading toward you, but
Mhm.
all of a sudden, tower's in front of him. You're right.
Yeah.
So he's effectively, you're turning the situation into a charge because you literally put yourself in front of him. So let's see. So he's just underneath the incredible roll, and it's a charge. So charging is very simple. A green is a hit, a yellow is a slam, and a stun is red. But charging is special. It does increase the damage for every area moved. Now you're lucky he only moved a single area, so we're only getting a +1 column shift to his damage, potentially, if I hit you. So let's go ahead and get this. All right. As it takes its merry sweet ass time. What are you doing? Roll the dice.
Thought you upgraded
Yeah, it's
your
still not
computer.
showing up on mine yet.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's this software.
Mm.
Oh, there we
There
go.
we go.
Okay.
I hear
And
it.
a 35. So he's under incredible. So that's enough to get a hit. There's no slam or stuns going on here, but he did hit you. And his damage does go up 1+1 column shift because he has moved an area that you stepped in front of him. So therefore, his remarkable strength goes up to incredible strength. He's sitting on basics, so you take 36 points of damage, Tower. Now, Tower,
With that
well,
armor, it's incredible.
I know, so let's figure it out. Okay, so 36 point of damage is coming to you. What kind of armor do you have?
I have my full body armor, my suit,
Yeah, what is the number, please? Protection.
37.
The
37.
protection is 37. Okay.
Or the physical armor is 37. Yeah.
Okay. Now, because he hits an armor that is more damage than he has produced, it's kind of like hitting a wall. And therefore, what he needs to do is a breakthrough roll. Or he will have to make a grace roll or fall down because he's literally run into a wall that he couldn't move, right? So let me go ahead and make that breakthrough roll. All right, that was quicker. So that's going to be under the same thing, but it's not enough. All right, and let me make one more roll real quick for him. Okay. So this guy runs up, slams into you. It's not enough to even scratch your armor, but you could feel it. This guy does have some power. But he doesn't fall down, but he kind of hits you, and he kind of and he takes a half step back, and is just looking at you. So nobody fell down. No one took any damage. Everything's good. He didn't take damage because he could potentially take a point of damage from that, but he didn't fail. So there we go. There's probably one of the most complicated series of rolls you have to make in this game. You just saw. Charging is some of the most noisy thing in the game, really. And so there was the most complicated thing. It was pretty easy, I think. Right. Anyway, I'm done. Then that brings this down to Puffin, I think.
No, lady's faster than me.
Okay, lady. Now, lady, you were
Okay,
moving yourself in to try to disperse or do something. The Tower's character stepped up, and Mr. Old Man O'Leary, and it was successful. Everything that just happened, you saw happen. What do you want to do?
people are passing me, leaving as fast as they can, right?
Some
Or-
are, yeah, more so
No.
now that the fights
Yeah.
moved into the crowd. Yeah.
Now that this is going to cause some problems with the person who is taking the bets, so keep an eye on him in case he starts leaving. I'll knock the feet out from underneath him
Well,
with my
he's
wind bolt
surrounded by
right now with other people.
who are demanding their money back. So he would be hard pressed to get out of here anyway. But you're keeping an eye on him, okay? Puffin,
But I'm moving toward the other opponent.
you're
Where
moving
he
toward
won't leave.
Wiley or tonnage.
Wiley.
Okay, Wiley's not doing anything. But all right,
Right. I'm just going to
to
go over there and be there, where he won't.
I have a-
Oh, no one's paying attention to me. Run
So
off.
I can bash. Well, with telekinesis, I could probably mimic a punch or
Oh,
a
easily.
shot
Yeah,
or something
easily.
like that. So, could I do like a psionic bullet so that I could add my my gun use as well as my focus and telekinesis?
No.
Okay.
Although you could
So-
power stun it.
Yeah, that sounds
not
definitely
yet.
like a power stunt.
I don't have enough to secure that, so I'll wait.
No, you guys haven't earned any kind of karma yet.
Yeah, so I'm just going to I'm gonna punch him with my telekinesis, basically, force punch.
Sure.
To the-
What
to the
is
face.
your rank is excellent. You get +2 specialization to manipulate it, which puts you under incredible. Incredible can only do a maximum of 2 attacks. But you can certainly attempt them. Go ahead with your first one.
Oh shit!
Yay, 100.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh my God.
There we go. Now, first thing that happens, you roll 100. In this game, you get 10 karma.
Woohoo! 10 karma for me.
Nice. Good job there, buddy.
Nice.
Yay.
And of course, you hit. There's nothing I can do about it. It's under the blunt attack because you're using telekinesis, or it's actually a force attack, but it's the same.
Mhm.
Um, and I do think with force you can do bullseyes. Yeah, that's slightly different. So, but you're not worrying about that. You just hitting the guy.
Mhm.
And it's a stun. So this is not a
Mhm.
killing power. So you
Good.
do score a stun, and we'll show you how to do that in a minute.
Okay.
But first things first, you do have second shot at him if you'd like to take it.
Sure. 52 under excellent.
That's right.
Which
52 under
is
excellent. It does hit. Sweet. So your power rank is excellent, right?
Right.
Excellent 16, I would assume. So those two combine with each other and bring you up to a 26 damage, which is good because that means you do 10 damage to him. So he, how much damage did you do, GOP?
What do we? I'm trying to remember now. He was up to like 10, I think, but I forgot how much I actually
It
ended
was
up
10.
doing.
Yeah, so like 20. He's got 20 damage on him so far, but we have a potential stun here. Now, the stun roll. Now, I as the DM can roll it, but I prefer to have the party member roll their own stuns, kills, and slams. I think it's more fun that way. So you can't see in this chart because the dice are in the way, but I got it right here. So the way stuns work is very, very simple. You got to roll the dice for his endurance, and we've already established his endurance is, or his fitness is a incredible. Okay, so go ahead and make a roll
Okay,
under
I'll roll.
incredible. Okay,
Oh.
36.
36.
So a 36 under incredible is a green. Okay, so we come over to the stun chart, and a green is a 1 round dazed. Um, so he is not stunned completely. In this case, you want to roll low, right? A low roll would
Mhm.
put him out for 1 to 10 rounds, but he is dazed for a round. If you roll a yellow or red, nothing would have happened to him. Which is basically what I did with his falling down roll. Is very similar, a slam roll, and nothing happened because he rolled well. But nevertheless, he is dazed for a round, though. All right, so back to the top. You got this round is free. He can't do anything. So back to tower.
All right. So he's stunned, right?
He is. He is stunned for a round.
Will I have advantage to like pin him and I don't know, can we cuff him or tie him up?
I would assume
Yes.
we would have cuffs of some kind. That would probably make
I
sense.
would think you probably do.
Right.
But in this situation, because he's dazed, you actually get a +2 column shift to your above any other column shifts you get for your grappling. So you were trying to do grappling before, and so now it would be a further +2 column shifts. So
Can I?
what is your muscle?
My muscle is amazing sitting at 46.
So it's amazing, and then you got the +1 because of your fighting style, your martial arts. So
Yeah.
that's monstrous.
So
So
it puts him at 100 because you guys can't go above unearthly. So
yeah.
unfortunately, we've lost in shifting, right?
Mhm.
Unfortunately, there's a wasted column shift there, but that's all right. Go ahead and make your unearthly roll to just grab this guy up. Remember, you need a red. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh
Um,
no.
kind of
Nope.
ridiculous. If you had karma, I would take some away.
Yeah. Have any?
Oh god. You rolled a 17, buddy. Wow, that's
Now,
No. Any
Spirit,
karma?
now, once again, to reiterate, Spirit has to be called before you make the roll. You have to say, I'm using
Yeah.
Spirit on this roll. Let's listen to what I'm saying, Tower.
Mhm.
You have to say, I'm using Spirit on this roll. Karma, however, you can use after the roll. But like I said, that's a heavy cost to use your karma, but you can, and it can be applied after the roll. Now you have no karma to use currently. You guys are going to have some very shortly, but unfortunately, a perfect opportunity. I don't know how you. There's a servo malfunction.
Best to the check.
Yes,
Please.
there's a servo malfunction. Now, hold on a second. Just hold on a second, Tower. Right. Therefore, you are yourself are stunned for a round while you're in there messing with the computer to try to get your servos working again. So you're out of commission next round. GOP.
Question.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I get
So
to
if I were to try and cuff him, I'm guessing that'd be a grapple, right?
it would be you got to grab a hold of him, or knock him out, or more than he
I'm
is.
gonna hit him again because I grappling is probably not gonna be my strong suit. So I'm gonna keep hitting him till he falls down. You know.
Then go for
That's
it. You
my
know how it works. Do it.
Yep. All right.
That's what you do to big people. Hit them till they fall down.
First roll. That is not a hit.
Not a
Wow.
hit. And
Okay.
well, no, you can't continue.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, it doesn't. You have to. You can
I
only.
have to hit.
Yeah, each successive multi attack has to come off of a hit. In the last time you failed the last one, so it didn't apply. But
Fair enough.
multi attack only work like that. So once again, this dazed guy who's just kind of weaving around there, you whiff on him. His turn
All
can't
right.
do anything. Lady, you're paying attention. to Wiley. Wiley actually just kind of shrugs his shoulder and starts walking away.
Stop, sir. Put your hands behind your back. Mr. Wiley.
He does so.
Put cuffs on him.
Okay.
He's not resisting.
He's not resisting, but you'll find out something here in a minute. Okay. So
Really quick, to
yeah, go ahead, Tower.
get something cleared up so I understand how it works.
Mhm.
When you say spirit, I can call spirit before a roll. I understand this. Do we have like so many spirit we can use, or
Yes,
can I just say
do.
Per
It should
day.
be written on your sheet.
Yep. You can use it per day, per
Every-
in-game day.
Well, it doesn't work like that.
Oh,
You're
okay.
basically
have it
a Tower. It should
down?
already be written down, Tower. It should be your
Oh, yeah.
fitness and your will added together. This
Mhm.
is your spirit number.
Okay.
Okay,
It's
that
on
number
his
should
paper, I'm pretty
already
sure.
be written down, right?
Okay.
Every day, every time you rest, you 8 hour sleep, just like in D&D, you get your empathy number back in spirit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Up
That's
to your
that's what I'm
maximum
praying for.
number. All right. Now that is disparate from karma. Karma is your experience, which you can pump into game if you choose. That's how spirit works. Okay. Puffin, you had a question.
Hello. I was just gonna, whenever I hit him with the 100, I'm gonna say, "Enjoy the headache," because it's a telekinetic attack. All right, fine, whatever.
Oh right,
All
I
right.
understand.
Nice.
You're trying to be cool. Cool.
Witty.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
gonna hit him again.
What you got to hit him? Well, hold on a second.
No, he's. I think he's gonna hit him with the telekinetic thing again. Because he
Yeah, I
already hit him
understand.
once.
But he probably should have done something else. But all right, so you're sitting under a credible with your ability. So you hit the first one, just a standard strike. That's a hit, and therefore you can attempt the second one. Go ahead, under excellent.
Nope.
Okay, so you are able to do nothing to him because your damage is equal to his body armor. So you hit him, but he just kind of waves. He's dazed, but he's not unconscious. So he probably kind of drunkenly dodges or kind of rolls with your punch in a way. So you do
I'm going
nothing.
to.
In this situation, Puffin, you should have tried to grapple him.
All
You
right.
should have
Well,
just grappled him. Yeah, because you would have got +2 to do so.
didn't know that. So I'm
You
gonna
would've-
walk away. Out of the line of charging.
Well, he's not moving now.
Well, I understand that. I'm just walking out of his line of sight, so once he's undazed, he won't know where I am.
All right. So we're going to be coming into a new round. However, at the end of this round, before we move into the next one, police show up on scene. They have a bunch of cars show up behind your bikes, and the cops are walking up. They're one cop. It seems to be like a sergeant on duty or something like that. He's like, "What's going on here?"
Greetings! We are Omni Corps officers. We just stopped an illegal fight. I, flash him my badge.
He said, "Oh
Do a
yeah,
little.
you're the new recruits they told us about, huh?" He looks over and Tonnage is kind of shaking his head out of me. See Wiley as well and a few of the other people. He says, "Tonnage, what are you doing?" I don't know, boss, just trying to make some money. Unbelievable. All right, guys, come out in here. And the cops come in. He says, "Everybody, move away. Yeah, Ralph, come here. He sends a couple of cops to go over and deal with Ralph, who's the bookie, and they're starting to help to try to get people their money back from Ralph. You guys can choose to do something anytime, by the way, whilst I'm speaking, because it is still your round. But this cop basically is coming over the Tonnage. Tonnage is completely has no fight in him with this cop walking up, and he looks over at you, lady. He says, "Take those cuffs off of him. What are you doing?"
Nod my head. I probably started removing them once I realized these guys were fighting for money. It was all rigged. That's what she was thinking, but that's what she thought to begin with. That's why she was hesitant to
Can I find? Am I near Puffin? Where's Puffin at?
Puffin's
I'm standing
just
over to
behind
the
you.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I turn around, I look at Puffin, or I look at Pulse, and I just look at him, and I'm like, gambling's illegal in Rhode Island, and I just look at him, and I give him a head nod, like I'm disappointed in him.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Betting on it.
No,
You have
because
no
Puffin
clue.
wasn't.
You have no clue.
Oh,
what
you
just
didn't
happened.
know. You weren't there.
No
Yeah.
clue.
Well, and you didn't see it.
Yeah,
I
I don't know what
know.
you're talking about.
Yeah,
Fine,
no
I
idea
did.
what you're talking about.
No idea. No idea.
I'm mildly suspicious of the Pulse now. Okay.
I'm gonna just pat him on the shoulder. He's like, ting ting. Yeah, that armor's doing weird things, man.
Hey, no, I look at Pulse. I'm like, hey man, could you WD-40 my kneecaps? I'm a little stuck.
Sure. Let me get a roll.
Yeah, you help him and he gets his servos back online. You don't have to make a roll for that, dude.
Yeah.
There's no need to roll in the game unless you have to. But the cops basically take over the scene, and are you guys going to resist their interference or just let them do what they're doing?
No,
No.
we're working with the police. I mean, like we're keeping good relations.
Well, you've
So
never met these
I
cops.
will ask the guy
well,
that
I'm
I had
saying
the cuffs
I know we
on.
haven't met them before. I'm just saying we're new superheroes in town. We're not
Wait-
trying to start fights with the police.
wait
At
a
least I'm
minute.
not.
Wait
I don't
a
know
minute.
about them.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute. So hold on. My alien brain may just be picking up on something, but whenever that cop walked up and talked to Tonnage, he's like,
Called
"I don't
them
know,
boss.
Yeah, called him boss.
Mhm.
So that strikes me as odd. Tonnage is either a cop that's off duty and picking fights for extra money, or this is we're getting stiffed here.
Bad cop.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're not even real cops.
Well, if you choose to go up and talk to the cops who are getting everyone's money back, you can get your money back.
Oh, I'm gonna get my money back first, but I'm just like over
but-
Tom's
But
pity.
now
It's like,
keep in mind, now everyone here is going to know you were gambling, though.
oh no, I'll just
Oh.
I let the money go in that instance.
Okay. We
but
that was a quick shift. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Lady,
I'm asking.
lady,
yeah.
go ahead. Yeah.
I'm asking the guy I had the cuffs on, and he goes, I have not hanged out with a human. What is going on from your perspective?
You stuck your nose in where it didn't belong, lady.
Yes, but I am not familiar with this game.
Well, you've got the cuffs off. He just walks away. He doesn't even talk to you. Yeah. And he just does what he was doing before. He leaves the scene. He doesn't stick around at all. Tonnage is talking to the boss, and he is kind of like a child who was caught with his hand in the cookie jar type of attitude is coming off of Tonnage, and the a sergeant is being quite stern. You can listen if you like. Um,
Man.
the police officer, another police officer, he's actually he just kind of walked in. He's lieutenant, but he's clearly not in charge. And he says, "Thank you very much, Omnicorps Sentinels. We appreciate your diligence. Good job, really good job. We'll take it from here. You guys can head on. Thank you, thank you."
It is our pleasure.
Okay. So what do you guys do?
I guess we're getting. Well, I'm gonna go back on my motorcycle because my wisdom, anyways, is just typical. So
Yeah,
those
you
sort of
guys
stats are not.
really should not have done that, but okay.
Oh yeah, no,
You're
no,
gonna pay
I'll
for it.
bump it up as I
You guys
play.
are
Oh
gonna
yeah, of
pay for it.
course, I should.
Yeah.
But my character is just like he's just done his good deeds. This is his first, heroic act on the job, and he's just happy. He's like on cloud 9 now because he did a good thing.
He did.
He's not thinking
He
about
did.
it at all.
That's true.
My
Yeah, go ahead.
I realize like my character realizes that he can probably fly better than faster than the motorcycle can go, and he just has the idea of, because he's got kind of like the from the way his character looks, he's got kind of like the tired cop kind of look, where he just has his hands in his pockets all the time, and just kind of sidesteps slowly, not real super action forward. And so he's like, I wonder if I could just sit in a chair, levitate the chair, and drive it faster than the motorcycle.
You probably
Just
could,
every
but it's protocol. It's
True.
protocol, right?
Mhm.
The only reason why I didn't hesitate to allow Tower to use a different motorcycle is because he's in heavy power armor and he needs a specialized bike. It makes sense.
True.
But you ride the motorcycle because that's part of the uniform. You see what I'm saying?
Part of the uniform,
It's
gotta
official
to work at the
Omnicorp.
place. Gotta use
Would
the
I be
uniform.
allowed to buy the entire team matching motorcycles?
Now, technically,
Uh,
you guys could leave the motorcycles and just go under your own movement. You don't need the
Yeah.
motorcycles. You can just
No.
fly or run, or you can do whatever you want. But
If I
I'm
was
just
going,
saying that the motorcycle, you can't just leave it in the street, Buffin.
Well,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna leave in the street. I'm just saying, like from now on, like I could. I was just thinking, I could literally just get like an easy
Well-
chair and sit in it, and then just
Well,
levitate it and move
Do
it
you
places.
have Do you have flight?
I do.
Well, then what do you talk about an easy chair? You just fly.
I know, but
Oh, just for comics. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Mhm.
All right.
I mean,
So
Thanos had a helicopter. He could fly.
what I need to know though is what you guys are doing. That's what I really need to know.
Back on
I'm following
patrol.
their lead.
Back on patrol.
Back on patrol.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see if I can find a cat in a tree.
Fine. You guys go back on patrol. Like I said, you don't need the motorcycles. You guys all have ways to move, I think.
Mhm.
So you could just do that. It's fine. Just don't leave them on the street right now.
Yeah, no,
I'm taking my
we'll after
motorcycle.
this. We'll,
Mhm.
huh?
Sorry, lady. What
I'm
were you
taking
trying to say?
I'm taking my motorcycle and switching channels with Kat and asking, could you explain what happened?
She of course has been monitoring the entire situation, which is her job.
We're still
Um,
training, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. She says, yeah, the cops in this town, they do a lot of things like that. She says that she's been checking in on it. The one they're calling, because she has with her comms, she can see what you're doing. She has GPS and visual awareness.
Mhm.
That's her ability, though, right?
Mhm.
And it's not the tech. And she says the one they were calling Tonnage, his name is Officer O'Reilly. He's
Oh.
a second ranked street officer, so he's a beat cop. She hasn't been able to get a line on Wiley yet, but he's a cop. Yeah.
Probably wasn't a cop, but okay.
No, he wasn't. Well, Wiley, we don't know.
Yeah.
But Tonnage
That's why I said
is
Wiley.
a cop. He's a beat cop. And
Mhm.
she has confirmed that this is his day off.
So this is what he does.
Well,
Okay.
what have you.
Or
But
or
let's
it could
make
be
it-
undercover.
I am on a different channel, guys.
okay.
Well, I'm out of
say
character. I'm not
that.
saying this
out of
in
character.
character.
Do keep in mind,
Yeah.
guys, that running into corruption in a major city is not odd, especially with police.
Yeah.
So nevertheless, okay, you guys are back on patrol, and
I am asking for a file of all the known police officers and other professionals here in our area,
sure,
where I
she'll
can
give you a complete
learn
list.
them.
Yep.
Okay.
No problem. Basically, today was just kind of a demonstration of how it worked. I think it went well. You guys finished your patrol with nothing particular happening, although that cat did need saving.
Mhm.
Though. Good job, Chloe.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm going to give you an extra 5 karma for saving that particular cat because that
Awesome.
cat was owned by.
Why are the huge spider webs everywhere for?
Oh yeah, Lady
We don't ask
Sims,
questions about that.
who runs the a beauty salon that is questionable. She was very very happy. She gave you a card.
Nice.
I am.
We're not sure what all the writing on it means because it doesn't have anything to do with beauty salons. But nevertheless, massages are $50 orally.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, whatever that
That's an
means.
interesting service. Yeah.
I mean,
Never got one of those before.
Yes, but nevertheless, so you guys finish your patrol. You go back.
When I'm done.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, when I'm done with the patrol, I'm going to go to my ship and offload all the different experiences for partitioning and sale. It's
Sure.
like gambling, almost getting caught gambling, instilling pain, potentially being in pain, just going through everything I had happen to me today.
Sure. No problem. But you finish your patrol. You get another one tomorrow. And when you're done, you guys are technically on duty for the next 3 days. So you can use the sleeping arrangements at the place. Of course, I doubt you will, but they are available. So what am I doing here? I got to bring this up, right? Okay. But actually, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to do this. Let's go there. Okay. So end of game wrap up. So today we didn't get anything very heavy, but I'm going to show you how karma breaks down. Now, the way we're getting karma is going off of their stats. And just like in the normal game, but I've changed it a little bit. So Tonnage had 80 hit points. You guys didn't do that much damage to him, but he had 80 if you were going to try to take him out. Now, he had body armor, and you can see how much of a pain in the ass body armor is. But nevertheless, what happens is you get that highest stat, which in this case is 80, split amongst you. So everyone gets 20 karma for you, because ultimately you were able to stop Tonnage from doing what he was doing. You get karma for it. You also, each of you get an additional 10 karma for breaking up a public, gathering, a illegal gathering. You get another 10 karma for that. Plus any of the karma I gave you, plus for overall today playing your characters and various things like that, you get another 10, right? So that's 40 karma plus you guys, a couple of you picked up some extra as well. Now, I told you how to use karma. And all you have to do, like say for instance, so you guys are sitting on 40, 45 karma, right? Now you can take karma and pool it into improving an ability. You can leave it to use in game if you want, or just leave it static. But it works very simply. For instance, if you want to go from a 16 to a 17, you would need 16 plus a 0 added to it. So 160 karma to go up that level, right? Now, today we didn't do very much. So there wasn't a lot of karma, but it's not odd to get 200 to 300 karma a session, sometimes even more. Today was just kind of introduction, so it was pretty low. But you can actually get enough karma to level stuff every session usually.
All right. So Chester,
hmm
I have if I want to, so I've got 53. I'm sitting on right now.
Yep.
And so I can bump up my logic because my logic is only typical, and so it's only 5, so 50.
Yep.
So that would be bumped up to a 6. And
Yep.
so when I get up to an 8, then it would jump up to good.
It would. It would.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot Wiley. You were able to disperse Wiley too, so you get another 20 for that. I apologize. Yeah, another 20
boy.
for Wiley. Yeah.
Okay. So I now have 23, and I've bumped up my typical from a 5 to a 6.
Right.
All right.
And keep in mind, every session, like I said, 200 to 300 karma is pretty normal. You can get 500 karma in a session as well. It depends on what's going on and how important. This was nothing. You'd literally stopped a, in essence, cop run street fight. Gambling event is what you did. So it's very low end and minor. But with that in mind, though, leveling in this game is pretty slow. It can be pretty slow. And that has always been one of the complaints about the game from certain peoples. I kind of like it. I think it's more realistic. If you think about D&D, I mean, geez, you're within just a few sessions, you're like way beyond the common person and literally just killing some rats in a dungeon and saving a princess from some ugly ogre. I mean, it is very, very fast. This game is slower, but it is what it is. All right. So, any questions today?
Okay, so the karma works the same way for any kind of power stunt you're trying to develop.
Yep.
Right?
Anything. It's all the same. It all levels up. If you want to take a new power stunt, it's 1,000 karma total. And like I said, it'll probably take you a few sessions to get that. But it works. And if you want to get a new skill, it's 500. Other than that, it's just whatever the number is at a 0, and you can take it up one number. That's how it works.
Okay, so yeah, I'll change my thief skill if you want me to.
Well, I
figure
mean,
had
it's
a
up to you.
long
You play
life.
the character you want to play. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
okay.
express to you guys, impress to you guys that we are playing a 4-color superhero here. We haven't really done that before. We've done things that are much more grittier, much more Christopher Nolan-esque, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. But GOP and I agree 100%. We've never played a proper superhero game, and I'd really like to. So you are heroes. I'm not giving you the freedom to not be heroes.
Okay.
Sorry for the restriction, lady, but that's the game we're
That's all
playing.
right.
Yeah. So,
I'm back.
hey, Puffin. Any other questions before we round it out here?
No, sir.
Nope.
All right,
I
good.
think we're good. I'll get with GOP if I want to level some stuff.
Yeah, no, I unfortunately couldn't see the chat, and Lady wasn't answering your questions. I apologize. Lady's bad. It's bad lady time. Flying Saucer, can police be supers? Yep, of course they can. Omnicore is a international attempt to try to pacify a treaty that came out in 1995. And it has been overall successful, but it is a semi-private organization under the auspices of the United Nations, and in order to try to make sure that every country has access to omnis or superpowered people fairly, is what Omnicore is all about. And that's why they pay so much money. They're in essence hiring professional sports people, is what they are. And of course, now with Saber and his group's push, you can actually go trying to get sponsorship, which could give you more money as well. But that's what's going on. There are plenty of people who don't want nothing to do with a man, you know, that Omnicore would be seen as, and can find themselves making money elsewhere. So there are superpowered people in every walk of life. Yeah.
So if we have to work for the UN, at least we don't have to wear those stupid blue helmets.
True, and it is indirect. It's under you're under their auspices. They actually don't run the day to day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
their auspices.
meaning their general observation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm their binoculars. Copy this.
Well, you probably never even met a UN official, to be honest with you.
That's a good
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
because they don't
it's
want to be.
it's cursory. Mainly,
Mm-hmm.
Omnicore International, or ICI uh, is a private company. It's in essence a private security company. But the auspice aspect comes in that they must fairly balance their employees throughout all the participating countries. That's the UN's ultimate their involvement. If they make enough noise and have enough committee meetings, which is all those people do anyway, they might be able to get some change within the policy, but they're not actually in charge of the day to day.
We're kind of contractors
In a
to a
way.
degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In essence, you are high paid sports athletes
Mm-hmm.
is what you are.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We're
So
mercenaries.
yeah, well we
Kinda.
don't use those words around here,
Yeah.
Puffin.
We're
Right.
mercenaries.
No.
I prefer the
We're
term
taxpayers who
heroes
work
of
for the
fortune.
UN.
Mhm.
Heroes of fortune.
Heroes of Fortune. There
Yeah.
you go. Or Heroes for Hire. Ching, more
Murder
power to the
Mm-hmm.
GM. Yeah. Now, here's the thing, guys. Just so you kind of understand the flow of karma, we didn't get much today because, well, we didn't really do much. But that will go up. Don't worry about that. However, you can earn more karma in game by simply role playing your character like GOP did, being funny, and just by making various comic booky movie references. Just kind of, I think I tried to lay it out, GOP,
Yeah.
that we're doing four color, therefore tongue in cheek, dude.
I'm
Oh,
all
tongue
about
in
tongue in
cheek.
cheek.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing Silver Age. There's a lot of comedic things like the Dark Frank,
Mm-hmm.
and if you guys actually end up fighting him, he's going to be brutal.
We're all gonna die.
You're all gonna
Like,
die because the Dark Frank shan't not be trifled with. So, you know. Although defeating him comes with an extra bonus reward of Scooby snacks.
I was
Nice.
gonna say his weakness is just a giant pile of Scooby snacks.
It
He
is. That's
passes
his
out.
weakness. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's it. You got it. You got it. But anyway, all right. So we're gonna wrap it up. Perfect timing. Thank you all very much. It's a lot of fun. The game's a lot of fun, and as these guys understand the roles, it'll go really quick because the game is actually really quick. The way it interacts, and they're going to get the hang of it because that chart is so nice, and um, you guys can just get that chart, copy it over for yourself, and just kind of keep it on your computer, or you can print it out, put it in front of you. That makes it very easy because that's all you need is that chart. The whole game is in that chart, right? And then you have your your words, excellent, remarkable, typical, to roll on the chart. It's really simple, but it's so dynamic because you can do anything you want. Anyway, thank everybody. I'll see you next week. Well, we'll carry on session 2. We'll get into it a little deeper and do more. Other than that, 2 days. I pretty sure they're planning something for Drone Recorded Ultimate Edition. I thought we were going to do something next week, but they didn't plan because even though I told them I'd be back, they didn't pay attention to it. Yeah, but I'm sure it's my fault because it's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, unfortunately, I had to drive up and pick up my son, so that was an unplanned, uh, 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 absence. The week after, I had planned, I didn't do anything during that week, and last week was just because they had nothing planned. So hopefully this week we will have something. That's a great show. Come over and check it out. And other than that, any of you guys have any kind of namaste shit you want to say?
If you don't have any other ideas, you can always draw the Dark Frank.
You can.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
Bye.
Everybody gets one.